Hello, hello. It's Friday, it's the end of the week and the start of an entire weekend. We have made it. Congratulations to everyone's continued success. What a week. And it kind of flew by. See what I did there? I said flew. Anyway, it's all good. Hello everybody, you're all very welcome along to another Microsoft Flight Simulator stream. We're on the ground here in the Netherlands, in particular Holland. Isn't that weird? One place in particular that I hold very close to my own heart is this airport and this region in Limburg. It's here in Maastricht. And some of you may know this area. It is the home of a phenomenal musician and entertainer with the name of Andre Rieu. I've been here a couple of times and I've checked out the square, the Vrijthof here in Maastricht. And yeah. For any of you wrestling fans, the airport ICAO is Echo Hotel Bravo Kilo, or EHBK. Now, consider yourselves educated. So our plan. Yes, there is a plan. Our plan is to take off here from Maastricht. We're going to head up to a place called Rotterdam, which is Echo Hotel Romeo Delta, and do a landing. And from there, we shall open it up to the multiplayer peoples. And we're going to fly over to a place, it's one of the islands just north of the mainland called Texel, or it's spelled Texel, but I think they pronounce it Dessel. And Texel is famous, by the way. That's where Murph here jumped out of an airplane and broke his legs. So it's going to be fun to kind of reminisce the fear and all the emotions that come with breaking your legs. And once we get to Texel, it's going to be a grass landing. Don't worry, the ground is good and soft, or at least that's what they told me. We're going to turn it around again and we're going to head down to Schiphol in Amsterdam, which is one of the handcrafted airports in, I think, the deluxe copy of Microsoft Flight Sim. So it'll be interesting to check it out, see how it all looks, and yeah. Is that a good plan or what? So we need to say hello to some people, because there's loads of people here on a Friday evening. Where do we begin? We'll start at the beginning. Dagon Gaiman is here. Good evening and happy Friday. As is Ben McClure. Wesley Hartford is here. As is Trayan COD. You're all very welcome aboard. Or Graham is here. Mark O'Gorman, good evening to you. I hope you're keeping well, my dude. Dangerous Brian is in the house. Hello, Brian. Kendra is here. Hello, Kendra. As is Coley205. Philip Breen has rolled in, holding a pint of Guinness after Arthur's Day yesterday. Papa Joe B has rambled in. He says, hi Murph, happy weekend, let's fly. I approve. Daniel M198 is here watching over on Twitch. Hello Daniel, how was your week, my friend? Mike G has landed in here as well. Erlansky, he says, hello Murph, hello all, and happy Friday. It's always the best way to say it. Keen Laffert is here as well. Patrick Cullen has donated through the super chat. See what I did with my words there? And I haven't... Hang on. Yes, that's much better now. We can speak and pronounce all of our words very well. You're very welcome along here tonight. And who else is in the house? Scott Voigt is here. Good evening. Many thanks for the donations there, guys. Really appreciate it. Scott says, let the party begin. I like it. Jam Fjord is here as well. Good evening to you. Good chatting to you earlier on, Jam. And we should do stuff with the stuff that we mentioned in the emails. That sounds very interesting. Mike G is here. He said, I spent quite a bit of time in the Netherlands recently. Amsterdam is so cool. Can you elaborate? Or perhaps you're not allowed. We shall see. Kenneth Norton is here as well. Good evening and happy Friday to you, my dude. Ed Reed is here. Hello, Ed. Hope you're keeping well. Happy Friday to you, sir. Ludos is here. Hey, Murph. I need to work tomorrow as well. I'll not be able to join. Good night and a happy stream. That's okay, Ludos. We will catch you in the skies hopefully soon. SK Sun is here. He says, evening, Murph and all. Benny P is in the house. Hello, Benny. Happy Friday to you. Keen Lafford, I think we said hello, but sure, we'll say hello again, Keen Lafford. Scott says, it's bringing me back to consciousness. That's always a good sign. Pilot Peely is here. Good evening to you, Pilot Peely. And a big shout out to all the guys from Simwings. They have a big, massive event tomorrow. We will hopefully be covering it on a stream. Looking forward to that one very much. G Slayer is here. He says, evening Murph, happy Friday, my dude. Many happy returns to you, my friend. Yeah, it's going to be a flight tonight. Let's see where it all turns out to. Scott says, and do we all know the significance to aviation of Maastricht? I believe it's something to do with air traffic control. I could be wrong, Scott. I could be wrong. Brightboy UK is here. Good evening, and you're very welcome along. He says, hi, great to be with you again. The feeling is mutual. Patrick Cullen says, hello, everybody, and Murph. Finally free and able to fly tonight. No pressure on you, Patrick. No pressure. Dougal McTavish is here as well. Good evening to you, Dougal. I have to say, guys, really enjoyed the stream the other night. And again, tip of the hat to all the dudes over from Sim Wings. We will be covering the flight tomorrow here on the stream. So do check all that out. Scott says, Andre is amazing. He is, right? It's just, Andre Ryu, fantastic. Keen Lafford reports 234 days to the Eurovision in Rotterdam. We're here for the dress rehearsal, Keen. We're only 234 days early. Well, 233 days early for the dress rehearsal. But it's getting ready. Mike G says, it's a beautiful city. It really is. Maastricht is absolutely fantastic. And there's a phenomenal, it's a phenomenal pub as well. It's called Die Gouverneur. And I remember going in and having a few beers. Can't remember much leaving, but I remember it was really nice. And I enjoyed it. So we shall see. Colonel Fork 85 is here. Good evening to you. He says, my grandpa was Dutch. Nice. Ali is here. He says, hi, dude. Hello, Ali. Happy Friday, my dude. David is here as well. He says, what plane are you flying today? All shall be revealed. It won't surprise you. Again, a big cheers to Patrick Cullen for the super chat donation. Ah, tasty beverage for a Friday. Merlin Flyer is here. Good evening to you. As is 6 Knots. Have you got the codes for those other airports? I have. We'll stick them in the chat for you there shortly. Niles Dugar is here. Hi Murph, great to see you in my country. We will be joining you. Nice. We have some other peoples from the Netherlands. I've never fully understood. Where are you from? I'm from the Netherlands. Okay, or where are you from? I'm from Holland. Now, I'm sure you have your reasons. It's like, you know, but yeah, I've always been fascinated. Is it the Netherlands? Is it Holland? I don't know. But a wonderful country. Absolutely fantastic. My father actually has a boat, a steel cruiser boat. Now, when I say a boat, like it's whatever, 30 odd feet or yeah, it's 30 odd feet. And they're known as a Dutch steel cruiser. They were kind of built in the 60s and 70s. And it's got a big, I think it's a Mitsubishi engine. And we use it on the river, on the Shannon mainly, and on a couple of lakes and stuff. But boats obviously are huge in Holland and up and down the Netherlands. As it's, well, there's loads of canals and stuff. So there you have it. Gabriel Dillon is here. He says, hello, good evening from Lockdown, Donegal. Gabriel, you hang on in there. So in Ireland, they've employed kind of different stages from, it's like, I don't know how to put it. I think 1 is like kind of everything's grand, and 5 is just like, you know, shut it down. And I think the country is kind of sitting at 2, and Dublin and Donegal are sitting at 3. So hearts go out to you guys, and let's hope you stay safe and stay indoors, and we'll do our best to keep you all entertained. Let's see how that goes. Philly Roach is here. He says, howdy dowdy. Good evening, Philip. Great to see you. So that's going to be kind of the plan. There's loads of people here. Have you nothing else to do on a Friday? Jer is here. He says, hi Murph, good plan this evening. I love when a good plan happens. Ben McClure has reported 144 days to Pancake Tuesday. So we've got Christmas, the Eurovision, and Pancake Tuesday. There's so much ahead of us this year, guys. Daniel M says, good thanks Murph. That storm I thought was going to hit let me down. It was pretty windy yesterday. And last night. So we shall see. Warhamster is here. He says, sup Murph, I'll try and join you later. Got Chinese food coming. And I got my Azuri chair. It's great. Thank you from the bottom of thank you from the bottom of my buns. Yes, do you see what I did there? You enjoy that Chinese takeaway food, and well, enjoy your chair. They're very comfortable and they're nice. Chippy A is here as well. He's just finishing his fish and chips. Ooh, that sounds nice. That's what you want. John E is here. He said, thank God it's Two-Tone Friday. That'll become a thing. It'll be some sort of a restaurant chain. I don't think anyone has done that before. It'll be super good, really good. No one's ever done it before, so it'll be fine. Scott says, it's home to Eurocontrol Upper Air Traffic Control Centre. Aha. Like, there's more history there, I think, Scott. I think, like, ATC in general is pretty much controlled out of Maastricht. Like, the head of the, I think, European Air Traffic Control is in Maastricht. I think. I could be wrong. Irish Aviator is here. He says, very good evening, and same to you. Happy Friday. Kieran Nile is here. Happy Friday to you, my dude. Philip Breen says, the Mooney. No, it won't be the Mooney. Joe Blow Photo is here. Happy Friday, and you're very welcome aboard, as is PJD. How are you, my friend? Dougal McTavish says, Murph, I assume you would recommend the Mooney. I absolutely will. I love the Mooney. And I'm kind of biased because it was one of my favourite aircraft of all time back in X-Plane 11. And, you know, the one they have here, it's quite good. There's still a little few kind of bugs, but nothing to write home about. I would absolutely give that the seal of approval, and it looks so good. So we'll have to wait and see. Billy says, just going to grab a beer and enjoy the first leg. Don't spill it. Beer is too good to spill. Tam is here as well. What plane will you be flying? We shall see. Holland is actually only 2 provinces of the Netherlands. See? Thank you, Niles. I'm getting educated on the fly. Holland is part of the Netherlands, if I understand my Dutch friends. Aha. Bad Dog is here, says, hi Murph, hope you are well, fella. Very well, Bad Dog. He's a great dog. He's not a bad. Happy Friday to you. So yeah, De Groot. I've heard of De Groot. So yeah, there's loads of people here. Magic 888 is here. Good evening from Nova Scotia. Good evening to you from Tipperary, which is kind of, it's freezing here. It was like -1 degrees, or it is to be -1 degrees. Winter is coming, and it's coming fast. So we'll have to wait and see. The heating shall be on. But then again, the way the graphics card has been working over the last 24 hours, the heat's good in the room. It keeps us warm. So yes, Lightsphere is here as well. Chinese food seems to be the thing on a Friday night, guys. Philly Road says, and now stop it with Christmas Pancake Tuesday and the Eurovision. Just stop it. What else is coming up that's important? We'll have to wait and see. G4K is here as well, as is the Burko Flyer. Good evening to you both, guys. I hope you're keeping very, very well. Burned Bash is here. Good evening to you. I hope you're keeping well, sir. Samuel Weeks is here. I was watching your streams Monday and Wednesday, but I was watching on my PS4. It's multi-platform. These are the things we can do with the modern state of technology. We can watch, or you can be watched, I suppose, on any device, which is always good. So yes, De Groot is the make of those Dutch motorboats. Aha! Well, there you have it. There's something else I've learned today. You see, you learn things in this stream. It's educational. Oh, look, we're in a plane. You never would have guessed it. Yes, we are in the old reliable Cessna 172 Skyhawk because, well, I just like them. So, before we get underway, and, you know, I've said hello to some people, but it's time to say hi to some more people because I just want to kind of give a tip of the cat. I have a cat, she's here somewhere, but a tip of the cap, and well, a cheers and a sláinte for all the support the channel's been getting over the last couple of weeks. And I was talking to one of the guys today. I said, like, I've been streaming pretty much, you know, to schedule for a month and a week today. I started on the 15th of August, and it's gone from 0 to hero, and it's all thanks to all of you people, each and every one of you, those who subscribed, followed, hit the like, did neither of them and just came in and just watched maybe on a stream or whatever, and for everyone else who supports the channel, be it through membership or they subscribe over on Twitch, I thank you all. So we're going to shout a few names. So first and foremost, we'll say hello to Dangerous Brian, Bartman7490, Gil Klein, Ethan Short, Andy Shaw, Neville Johnson, Sticky Rice 82, Shivam, and Ludos. Thank you all so very much for your support, and cheers. Now we I have a list. That'll tell you how many people are involved. So a slightly louder shout out to Scott Voigt, the Video Crusader, Jim Oates, Brian Spain, Philip Breen, Patrick Cullen, and Samuel Dye. Thank you, gentlemen, also very, very much. And a big shout to Gop Slayer, who holds the Pilot in Command tier here on YouTube, and that's very much appreciated. And to the Colonel Fork 85, and to everyone else over watching on the land of Twitch, or in the land of Twitch. Thank you all so very, very much. I really do appreciate it, guys. It's absolutely not necessary. It's not a channel, as I said, to earn a few bob out of. This is a channel I'd be much happier if you guys, if you have the few bob, well, put it into the sim, or if you do feel like giving a few donations or through the chat, I would ask you very kindly if you'd hold off, or until tomorrow, that is, of course, when we have the Sim Wings flight. Or if you do feel that I've twisted your arm in so many ways that you do want to make some sort of a donation, however small, just make sure you put the word Sim Wings in it, and it'll be kept to one side and given to the guys over in Sim Wings. So that's how we're going to do that. And any more cheers and we won't get off the ground. So that's the story. It makes perfect sense to me now. Okay, into our little aeroplane. I forgot to mention. So PH is, I think it's the aircraft for the Netherlands, and Nev, or November Echo Victor, is a tip of the hat to Neville Johnson, one of our supporters. So I said, we'll put Nev on the back of the aircraft. Pilot Peely has become a member of the channel. Many thanks to you, Pilot Peely. Really appreciate that. We're running dangerously low on our drink already. That's never a good sign. So, we're in the Cessna. And we'll open our map. So we're here in EHBK. We're going to travel up to the northwest, up to Rotterdam. Going to make a landing in Rotterdam, and then open it up to the multiplayer. Because that sounds like a plan. So our fuel shut-off valve can go in. We're going to turn our battery on. Make sure our parking brake is set here as well. Don't forget, if there are any gremlins about with my internet or stream, well, just hang tight. I'll appear again somewhere in the near future. Dougal McTavish has become a member as well. Thank you so very much, guys. Really appreciate it. Cheers and sláinte, and here's to good health. Still says we started flying. I was grand. Everything was fine. No, I'm only joking. As I said, Irish people are very resilient when it comes to partaking in the devil's refreshments. So we shall see. But yeah, let us see here now. So we want to get all this set up. Trim set to take off. Did you guys see the new trailer for the World Update? They've done, well, it looks like they've done phenomenal work over in Japan. So we're going to be hitting up Japan soon to go flying, just to see what it all looks like. So yeah. Samuel Week says, Maastricht, Rotterdam, Texel and Amsterdam. What was that song, Rotterdam? And who sang it? The Beautiful South sang it, but what was the song? Blast the copyright infringement. So we can't... Ooh, that's about right. Okay, so we want to get our directional heading synced as our altimeter. So that all looks good to me. We're going to set our mixture to rich. We're going to open our throttle about 1/4 of an inch. Johnny, you stay there. Don't move. Clear prop. We're going to turn on our fuel pump for... Well, it looked like it moved. We're going to go clear prop and start. And we have a good start. We'll keep the RPMs just below 1000. So we don't kind of put pressure on the little engine. So we can turn our avionics master switch to on. And we'll give these a few seconds to power up. And we'll jump to our lights here now shortly as well. So our squawk needs to do squawk things. We're going to go 7000. We're flying in VFR. And our altitude for this flight, because of the Netherlands being quite flat, well, except for Maastricht, of course, there are some hills in Maastricht, which is crazy. We're going to go for 3,000 feet, which is just grand. So that's kind of there and up. We won't worry about them. Stand by, wait till we get out towards the runway to turn on that. So we're going to go with our taxi lights and our strobes. Johnny, don't move. You stay where you are. And let's see what happens. So parking brake can come off. We can flick this over to GPS mode. We're going to add in a bit of power here. But yeah, the video of Japan, it looks absolutely stunning. So really looking forward to that. A little bit worried to see that I haven't noticed any kind of bug reports or at least not in any massive detail. They have done one or two. They fixed one or two. I think... Hang on. Wait, what? Do you see what I see? The Irish Air Corps are here. That livery, of course, is from our in-house Picasso, as I like to call him, Sir Blackie a lot. So I've been testing custom liveries. They're not quite ready for the streams yet for the multiplayer, but soon. I hope to have them sorted by the weekend. Some are working, some are not. So for the moment, we have to hold off using our custom liveries. Brian says, Dutch mountains with a ski lift. Cool. Trying to escape the Irish rain. Hey, by the way, says X-Apron. Good evening to you, my friend. I hope you're keeping well. Colonel Fork says, Microsoft will use the install liveries for all static aircraft. Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Sir Blackie Lot is here in the house. Good evening to you. He says, wait, how is it in the traffic? Because you made it so. But Colonel Fork is saying the architecture from the file is actually being read to use as static aircraft, which is interesting. Train says, it's me, GMAC. Hello, GMAC. Happy Friday to you, my dude. I hope you're keeping well. So we can turn on our landing lights now and turn on our transponder. We're going to turn our little heading bug here to the runway heading. We should be flying Han Solo. There's no one else here with us. Got ourselves lined up here with the runway. Everything looking fairly decent. Dam says definitely looking forward to Japan. My flight sim is late, got stuck in a coffee shop. Or Mr. Flight Sim is late. Aha, Darren, very good. Train says 9 days updating. That can't be good, dude. Do the hang on. The Erasmus Brugge Bridge and the Euromast have models? I don't know. But we shall find out. Okay, so mixture set to rich. We don't need full laps. It's a big old runway. Lights are on. Squawk is squawking. Radios don't need to worry about. Mixture set. And yeah, we're good to go. Are you guys ready? We're ready. And away we go. Mike is here. Good evening and happy Friday, dude. I hope you're keeping well. Steve35 is here. Happy Friday, Steve. How are you keeping, dude? Bill Does Twitch is here. He says, I'm not ready. Well, don't worry, guys. This is just the first leg, not open yet to the multiplayer. As a random car, van thingy drives on the runway. That's quite okay. We'll pretend it didn't happen. Aaron Kelly is here. He says, can you pilot in real life? I can pilot a desk. And I drive a car and a boat. I have a handful of hours in a Cessna 172 from the local flying school. But that's about it. We have a nice climb here out of Maastricht. There was actually a really good payware add-on back in X-Plane for Maastricht. I think it was from Aerosoft, and they did a really good job. UK Bay is here. Good evening to you. He says, evening Murph, I'm hoping to join the multiplayer later. Safe landings. Absolutely. Guys, if you're new here, everyone is welcome to join in on the multiplayer server when we go flying. I'll tell you all about it later on. Our ETA for multiplayer is approximately 40 minutes. So let's see how that goes. As we can start our turn here to the right-hand side, get ourselves up to that magenta line. I remember staying in Maastricht the first time, and myself and my present lady wife, Mrs. Two-Tone, we were staying in a B&B, and it was on the road to... Maastricht is brilliant because you can kind of, you know, cycle for 10 minutes and you're in Belgium, or cycle the opposite way for 10 minutes and you're in Germany. So we were staying in a place that was about kind of 10 minutes out of the town and very close to Germany. And it was a bit of a walk into the town, but it was great, if you know what I mean, after a couple of pints. It's just the ideal distance to work up another thirst to have a few more. Steve35 with the donation through Super Chat. Many thanks, my dude. Really appreciate your support. Thank you so very, very much.
Appreciate the comeback, good buddy.
Appreciate the I love these, I love the alerts. The truckers. Hey, good buddy. And the likes. So, what we're going to do, we're going to fly on this heading, zoom over here to your satnav, Murph. So we can pretty much fly straight on to intercept it. We're not worried about following any kind of procedures at the moment. We'll continue to gain a bit of altitude. We'll sync our heading bug as we fly north. We can go ahead now and turn nav... No, we don't. We want to turn heading mode on. Autopilot. Heading mode. We're going to set our 3,000 feet to altitude. Come up, you devil. And we're going to climb at 500 feet per minute. Scott says we stayed in town at a B&B right above a bar. It was lively to say the least. Train says it's a patch update. It can only update in the game. Mike says I think the Dutch enjoy life much more. I do know a lot of people from Holland and the Netherlands, and they're absolutely tremendous fun and crack. So we'll go nav mode now, and we'll follow this magenta line all the way up to Rotterdam. So we'll keep it on climbing power as we adjust our mixture here. I started getting micro stutters in the sim the other day. Why? I don't know. But I hope it's fixed now. Another time I was in Maastricht then, I went with my father and we stayed in, we rented an apartment up on the Heel Port, which is up by kind of like the gate, the old castle gates or the old city walls, the Heel Port it's called. And that was like a 5-minute walk to the main square. Fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Dougal says, I have a boat too, but it's currently stuck in France. Oh, dude. That's never good. The boating life, yeah, like it's kind of slow and relaxing. And it's not for everyone because, you know, you have to, like, live at the slowness. But if you get the weather, they're absolutely great. And they're relatively safe, you know. You can't fall out of a boat. Well, you can, but, like, into water, you'll be alright. You can fall out with these things and, like, it's a long way down. Billy Roach says, I follow a guy from the Netherlands called Pitmaster X. Excellent if you like barbecue. Nice. Darren Doctor says, can't wait for gliders. Any news on the update yet? So we're due an update on the 29th of September, which is a world update. And to be honest, that's a free update. And like we're getting a number of handcrafted airports. There's a number of photogrammetry cities. There's a whole load of cities. And then they're working on another update, I think, on the 19th of October. So they're fairly coming thick and fast. Samuel says, I think you're flying over the Netherlands-Belgian border. I think so. But it is quite nice here. So our speed, we just want to monitor it now as we've entered our cruising altitude. Want to keep an eye on our temperatures and pressures, but we should be good to go. Keep an eye on our EGT here as well. We fairly have it peaked now. We'll bring our RPMs back down to about 2400. It should be good. That'll lighten the fuel flow, take a bit of pressure off the system. Temperatures and pressures are all in the green. So yeah, we're starting to look good. Some music and scenery, please. Mal Watch is here. Good evening to you. Happy Friday, my dude. Phil does Twitch said, yep. You managed to find a flatter spot than Wednesday's stream. Oh yeah. Scott says, yay for Hamburg. Hummel hummel. Rick T. Crony says, that's some good looking weather settings. Yeah, I find if you kind of just, you know, mess around with the settings, you can kind of achieve some really nice shots. Colonel Fork 85 has become a member. Many thanks to you, my dude. I really appreciate the support. Cheers. Gabriel Dillon says, Murph, have you seen what Airbus are working on? Hydrogen-powered flight. Dude. Spooky Hyperbole is here. Good evening and happy Friday. So guys, if you're wondering how does one achieve this level of weather, depending on your settings, in your weather menu here, we'll let the music die down so you can hear me, but in the weather menu here you have kind of, these settings are your clouds, and the little icon here denotes what level the clouds are at. Okay, if you go back to settings, then that'll show you kind of the, you know, the month, the date, the year, and that'll affect the position of the sun and what have you. Don't worry too much what way they calculate the altitude. Snow, we're not using snow. Aerosol density, I always bump that up kind of 2 points. Just gives kind of a nice shade, I suppose, to the sunlight. Precip, that's to do with your rain, and lightning is lightning. Temperature, not really important, unless of course you want to fly in icing conditions, or if you want to have really kind of high pressure, high temperature. So that's usually all of this. So it's the wind we're looking at. So if you wanted to look, or not the wind, the clouds. If you look at the clouds, your coverage is on a scale. So remember 33, we can bump that up or bring it back. So we left it around 33. And it's just nice. Scattering is at 90. Again, you can scatter the bejeenie out of them or keep them relatively close together. The altitude is important, so you want to see, well, where do the clouds start and where do they finish? If you had a very small gap between these, so we're looking at 6,800 and 16,000. If we were to drop this, say, to, you know, 7,000, see how thin the layer gets? So you want to put a bit of depth to your clouds. So usually I would say 10,000 feet is ideal. Then if you go to the next level, if you were to lower these, you'll get these dark, much darker clouds, and they'll sit in the horizon. And you know, you can then add in some very small amounts of precip, and you start getting rainbows and all that kind of good stuff. So I tend to just leave these sit on a second layer so we can kind of see what's going on. And again, the same rule applies of about, 8 to 10,000 feet. So we can go... that'll kind of do. And it's trial and error, like you can just look out the window or look around the sim to see how it all works. The very high level, it's usually going to be cirrus clouds up here, so you can go coverage 0 or coverage full, but like you're talking all the way up there, you're not going to see much. 30-odd thousand feet. So we can leave them low. And depending on your settings, of course, and on your system, it might have a bit of an impact, but I find the weather in the sim is actually quite gentle on frames. This little icon down here on the bottom left is your wind. So you have your direction, the speed, and then you have gusts. So it's always fun, if you're near the sea, always punch the speed up a little bit, because you'll start seeing really animated waves. They're awesome. And of course, if you have 0 speed, well then the water it'll be like glass. There'll be nothing moving. So kind of 4 to 6 knots over land is kind of grand, but you can definitely punch it up. And then the clouds, of course, will move in the direction the wind is blowing, which is always cool. Then you can add a wind layer. So just to be really strange, you can have a low altitude wind layer that's blowing 10 knots east to west up to 5,000 feet. And then if you want to be adventurous, you can go to 10,000 feet, add a second layer of wind, have it from west to or east to west, the opposite direction, at about 20 knots. And then if you fly somewhere in between the two of them, it's great fun because the plane just doesn't know what direction to go. So these are the, I suppose, the custom weather settings. And then, of course, the time of day, you've often heard of the golden hour. So it's all pretty sweet. Kid Never says, a Dutch guy invented shoes that track your distance. You've walked. Clever clogs. Oh dear. Ed Reese says, it's Oktoberfest time. Oopa! The Oktoberfest. Jim Oates is here. Good evening to you, Jim. The Oktoberfest was cancelled, I heard. So we continue on with some of our flyings. So we've taken off from Maastricht, EHBK. We're flying up and along to Rotterdam, up at The Hague. Once we get to Rotterdam, we're going to continue on north, stay outside of Amsterdam's airspace, and we're going to go for Texel, which is up here. It's a small grass runway, and that's where I went parachuting, and I broke my legs because I'm a genius. And I'll actually show you exactly where I landed because I've checked and it's there. And once we're finished in Texel, we're going to head back south, and we're going to make a full stop landing in Amsterdam. David Dunkford has just subscribed. Many thanks, my dude. Happy Friday to you, and I hope you're having a good one. Scott Briggs is here. Good evening to you, Scott. Batty says, is there a glitch where you can choose sensitivity? I think I think it's a bug. The sensitivity slider just isn't there. G Slayer says, Murph, have you seen issues with the avionics suddenly turn off in the Mooney? Yes, I have. But I think it's more to do with playing online. So it hasn't happened to mine when I'm playing offline for what I have a reason. Spaceman 11 says, I live in The Hague. The route goes over my house. Nice. Spaceman 11, you better wave. Samuel Week says, nice music, Murph. Why, thank you. Kane Lafford in with the jokes. He's on fire. He says, the client says, I've broken my arm in 3 places. The doctor says, don't go to those places. Annalisa is here looking on Twitch. Hello, Annalisa. Happy Friday to you. She says, oh my god, that's horrible, Murph. How did it happen? Were you single or doing a tandem? Single. It was a static line jump. We were, it was the military jump course. So you had to do, I think it was 5 static lines and then 1 free fall, which is a halo. And Murphy being Murphy, and well, living by Murphy's law, on my first jump, made my way up to the hatch. It was a Cessna Caravan. Launched myself into the open sky, as was my wont. After about 3 seconds of utter panic and what the parachute deployed. It was a square chute. So you have to go through your drills, make sure that the parachute is open, it's square, the flaps are down, you can toggle it, you can test your flare. So my fall was great. The jump was great. The fall was very good. My approach was, I mean, spot on. You could not get more accuracy. My landing, however, well, if you were to imagine, standing on, now don't try this at home because it'll hurt, but if you were to imagine, right, standing on a table, and if you were to jump off or step off said table and land on both of your feet, was, keep yourself very straight like a pencil, it's fine, you'll just land on your feet. Then try it again, but move at about 50 miles per hour in the forward direction and try to land perfectly still on your 2 feet. Something's going to give. And because I was wearing combat boots, well, the bone... This is impressive, right? There were no half measures taken. It was called a spiraling compound fracture, whereby the bone twisted and broke and went out through the leg. So I'm now lying on the ground in fear. Well, not really fear, I'm full of adrenaline. Couldn't really feel much. And I was just like, oh, that was so much fun. And when you hit the ground and you do your PLF, your parachute landing fall, you have to, pull in your chute, and the instructors told us, get up off the ground really, really quickly, otherwise we think there's going to be something wrong. So I hit the ground. I was like, well, that was great. And a bit of wind caught my parachute and it dragged me forward. And that sound you get on, say, an early morning stroll in January, and you're in a forest and it's dry, and the really thin hollow sticks and twigs. And if you were to step on them, and the sound you get when you step on them, or here's another way to put it, if you get some cornflakes, take a bit of handful, put them onto a hard wooden floor, and get like a bowling ball or like a big marble and just roll it over. I said to myself, that didn't sound good. So I gave a bit of a yelp, to use the word mildly, and my buddy who came running over to say, get up, you can't be lying on the ground. And I said, fella, I'm not to hurt myself, and I'm in trouble here. And we made some carry. He's like, you're grand, get up. And he gave me such a boot to my rear end, such a kick in the butt. And I made all sorts of crazy noises then. And I couldn't get up, and then he kind of saw what was happening, and then he got weak in the knees. He saw the commotion. So it was great fun, great crack. So I highly recommend parachuting, guys. It's great. And there was a great photograph taken. Like, an ambulance came to pick me up and whatever, and the paramedics were fantastic. And I don't know, they gave maybe it was like morphine or whatever they gave you. And I didn't care at this stage. I was just like, this is fantastic. Just people fussing over me. I love all that, and this is great. And one of my boots, I had to throw it out of the back of the ambulance. And you'll see now, right, in Texel, there is no land connection to the island. So the ambulance had to get a ferry from Den Helberg out of the Gemini Hospital, get on the ferry, drive over to the island, pick me up, delay the ferry. So you had all these tourists like going, oh, why is the ferry so late? And they were picking up old Murph. And then I got back to the hospital, but they threw my boot out, and the guys being the guys, they're all there in their like combat uniforms. It's real, you know, they've like added sepia, so it looks like it's a real kind of Vietnam kind of a photo. And the guys are linking arms, you know, but there's a gap in between two of the guys, and all that's there is my boot with my, you know, combat hat sitting on it. Now it's hilarious. And like that ended up going into the unit headquarters. Like that was just like Murph, he was a great guy while he lasted. But yeah, the whole experience leading up to and after, like it was just one of those things. But it was a bad old break, and the right leg wasn't much better. So I was in a wheelchair for a couple of months. I did 6 months. I was like 5 months in a wheelchair, and then another couple of months. I had to get traction and all this kind of stuff. But I'm grand now. I was back playing football in about 12 months, which wasn't too bad. Ed Rees says, why would you jump out of a perfectly good aeroplane? Would you believe, Ed, as I jumped, I was kind of saying to myself, the plane looks perfectly fine. I have a video of it. I'll show you guys the video sometime. Like, there's actually the video of me, like, sliding myself out of the small little canopy at the just behind the wing, and I jump out. And what's really funny is my two buddies, the guy who went before me and the guy who went after me. The guy who went before me, he tried to run back into the plane as he fell. And the guy after me, you're supposed to look up at the plane as you jump, as you flare, and like he just looked down and he nearly went head first. And I wouldn't mind. There was only 2 of us on that chalk that actually hit the LZ. Everyone else got scattered all over the place, because what had happened was we were supposed to do our last maneuver into the airfield above 500 feet, and you know, when we were getting our briefing, and they said, okay guys, Dutch accent, so guys, once you get to this location, you got to turn left into the wind. And by turning left, it meant that the wind was going to be in our face, so that was going to slow down the rate of your speed, and you controlled your descent with the parachute. But what happened was, as the plane banked, the wind had changed. So the wind was now at our back. Hence, you couldn't slow down your speed, and so your rate of descent wasn't too bad, but the speed was just, something bad was going to happen. So my buddy Shane, he hit the LZ, he was grand. My mate Darren ended up in a spud field about 2 miles away, and like he came back, it looked like camouflage on his face, you know, like the face paint or camo cream, but he landed into a potato field, and as he hit the ground, he said he'll never forget it. There was just a big plume of smoke, as in dust, and potatoes went flying. It was hilarious. And I actually have a set of jump wings. Now, granted, one of the wings is wrapped up in in a bandage, but apart from that, it was great. And for that very reason, that's why I couldn't audition to be an extra on Band of Brothers. So that's what happened to me. Chippy says, the sales pitch is terrible. So yeah, it was pain I never felt before. Jamal says, I did free fall parachuting with the Marines. Cool. My first ever jump, my chute twisted. Thankfully, I was able to kick it out. Holy moly. Scott says, before he retired, my uncle was a doctor near Frankfurt. Nice. Steve35 says, ouch, I'm feeling the pain. Mike says, OMG, that sounds horrible. Keen Laffer says, obviously the landing skills from skydiving didn't carry over to Microsoft Flight Sim. Well, that's very kind of you, Keen. Some might say that's probably, you know, my butter-like landings. Do you think he's trying to overcompensate for something? Dangerous Brian says, Murph, I'm beginning to think you were accident prone. Probably. Bad Dog says, I bet I'll bet you weren't the only person to go to the Netherlands and get legless. I like that. Annalisa says, I'm cringing here. Compound fractures are the worst looking things, and I can't imagine the pain. And then, yeah, get a kick in your butt while you're on the ground. Scott says, Murph, how dare you delay my vacation?
Hey, good money.
Good evening and welcome to Alex Marandi Lopez, who has just subscribed. Many thanks, Alex. You're very welcome along. Happy Friday, dude. G Slayer says, something not right about jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. I agree. Mike G says, how long did it take for your legs to get better? About 6. I was back walking in 6 months, and I was relatively fit again after about 12 months. Here's a question, Scott. Did you live on a military base? Because if you did, we have that in common. Samuel Week says, are you going to do any videos at the weekend? Indeed I am. Hopefully going to be joining the guys from Simwings tomorrow night. They're going to be doing well, I'm going to do a stream. They're doing a group event. It won't be open to multiplayer on my channel, unless of course you guys go to the Simwings website and register your intentions. But I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a hoot. It's for a really good cause, so I'm really looking forward to it. Philly Roach says, don't play rugby, dude. Ed Reed says, there's a video? There is a video. Muser says, hit it hard. I absolutely hit the LZ, Annalisa, but I hit it quite hard. Mike G says, forget parachuting, it sounds terrible. Colonel Fork says, at least you didn't have dust in your jump wings. Were eagles dare? This wasn't. Steve35 says, do you still feel the pain to this day? Would you believe I do? So my left leg, it feels like it, you know when you get a good dig in your leg, it's like a dead leg. So when the weather goes from really hot to really cold, and the opposite, it just feels like a dead leg. I have a bit of a limp, but like I'm sound like. Ed Reed says, Murph, you should have dropped a roll of toilet paper first. Annalisa says, I'm rolling around laughing, thinking that the spud's going flying. Where eagles crash. Philly Roach, that's a fantastic joke. I met my wife at a nightclub. I thought she was at home with the kids. Jim Oates says, telephone ringing. Everyone on here cancelling their tandem jump that they got for their birthday. And it was fine, like. I don't think I'll do it again now, but yeah. Andy Henderson says, was that the end of your run in Riverdance? It absolutely was. I changed my name when I moved to America. Be Gara be Goncha. It's Misha Michael O'Flaherty. Dookie is here. He says, I just clicked on this video. Well, hello, Dookie. You're very welcome along, and happy Friday, my dude. David says, I watch live streams for entertainment. Keep it up. Many thanks, David. Annalisa says, do you cringe seeing the dangling legs bug now? I do. I'm just like, mind them. Be careful. They're so precious. Yes, sir, I did. Met my wife on base. I would like to say that I was issued a wife. Nice. I was born and raised on a military base, which was awesome. So I'm not a stranger to the smell of Jet A1 in the morning. Gabriel said, it's not the jump that kills you, it's the sudden stop at the end. I agree. Dookie says, where are we flying from? So we've taken off from Maastricht Airport here in Holland, and we're going to head up to Rotterdam. Once we get to Rotterdam, we're going to go back to the scene of the accident, which was in Texel. And we can point at the ground and picture a distraught Murphy some many years ago. And then we're going to head down to Amsterdam to forget about our worries and our cares. You see, I planned this. Samuel asks, how long do we have before we need to get in the air? About 15 to 16 minutes. Did you guys pack your own chutes, says G Slayer? No, they were all given to us. Dougal says, ex-Royal Marine here, so done a few falls out of good airplanes. Were you jumping out of C-130s? That's awesome. Steve35 says, that's when you wish there was a reset button. Oh yeah. Got Border Collie. Got Border Collie says, I spent 22 years as a paramedic fixing up folks like you. Keenlaffer says, can you pop up the VFR map? Of course. Dookie says, I'm half Irish. I hear your accent. Nice, dude. Kane says, what was it like growing up on a military base? It was fantastic. Very secure and always great fun. Dougal McTavish, C-130s and many others. That's fantastic, Dougal. And like, if you're doing military jumping, that's halos, high-hos, nighttime jumps. I say you've done it all, man. That sounds great. Spaceman11 says, I made an emergency landing at Rotterdam airport years ago. Didn't get a green light for my nose wheel. The tower did see the wheel out, but they weren't sure if it was locked in place. Landed with fire trucks waiting along the runway. All went fine eventually. Dude! Doogie asks, are you in the military? I am not. Gabriel says, Murph, do you want us all to bring a wreath with us to lay it down at the site of your embarrassing failure? I thought it was funny. Like, obviously, you know, pain is pain, and like we all deal with pain, but like looking back at it, it was very funny. And like every story that came out of that trip was hilarious. Like I spent a couple of days in the hospital, the Gemini Hospital in Den Helberg, and I don't have much Dutch. I didn't have any back then, and you know they come along and they say, what would you like to eat? And they'd like point to your mouth and point to your stomach, eat. I was like, oh yeah, what do you have? And they'd give me like a menu. Like their hospitals had a menu. Like this thing was like a hotel. And I'm looking down through the menu, I was just like, oh. And I just pointed randomly at this thing. And it turned out to be toast and strawberry jam. Now, I hadn't had that in years, and I was happy as a clam. I was like, yes, this is what I'm going to eat. And then they came around for dinner, and it was the only thing I could figure out to say. I was like, yeah, I'll have that again. Thinking, like, that's all they're going to have. It's a hospital, it's not a hotel. So I'm sitting there buttering and putting me jam on me toast, and the guy next to me, he's after getting a big Sunday roast. He's like got potatoes going on, he's got some beef, he's got some carrots, he's got food. And I'm like, how? And I was going to swap him, and he wasn't buying. So I spent a couple of days in there, and this lighthouse. So I couldn't understand Dutch TV because it's the Dutch accent. It's a remarkable accent, but when they talk, you know, they have a really good emphasis to pronounce their R's. Der Glurgen and Vlurgen, Schlorgen, Florgen. I go, what? But it's really nice, and they totally understand themselves. I don't understand them at all. So their TV watching wasn't great. So all I really remember was this lighthouse every 20 seconds flashing into the room. And your eyes start playing tricks on you then. Because then you start thinking, hang on, that curtain is now open, or that bed has moved, or, you know. It was great fun. Dan Bryan says, are you happy for people to join in the next multiplayer leg? Yes, I am. One thing I will say though, guys, make sure you only use the default aircraft and default liveries that come with Flight Sim. Many thanks, June, for the follow and the subscribe, my dude. You're very welcome along. Happy Friday to you. Doogie says, yeah, I'm Belgian and it's hard for me to understand. Kobe is here, good evening to you. Happy Friday, my dude. And then what was really gas, because at the end of the trip, we went by land, sea, air, rail, and ferry, right? That's how we got there. And one of the guys came from Dublin, after, like he wasn't going to do parachuting, so he goes, I'll meet you there in a couple of days. And our plan was we were going to go to Amsterdam and go bananas, you know, have the crack, go out for a couple of beers and just to have general mayhem. So of course when he came out, they were like, Murphy's in hospital. He jumped out of a plane and he hurt himself. So that was funny. So when the guys were busting me out of the hospital because we wanted to get back to Ireland, we sent Mac to go with the wheelchair from Amsterdam all the way back up to the Gemini hospital. And I can only imagine what other people on the train must have thought. Because Macker's a big tall guy, he's about 6'4", 6'5", and he's now standing on every train holding an empty wheelchair with no one in it. And I imagine people were looking at him going, does he realise it's empty or that the guy is missing? But yes. It can happen to anyone. Not just me. But more than likely, just me. MM is here, good evening to you. He says, why is the map covering the view? Because I got distracted. Because I was jibber jabbing. Don't forget, guys, if you're new here, I would very much appreciate if you were to like the video or subscribe or say hello in the chat. Don't be afraid. Be sure to say hi, don't be shy. If you're watching on Twitch, if you like this content, you might consider giving a follow. And if you're on the fence whether or not to join in for the multiplayer, well, give it a shot. Any skill is welcome. The complete noob to the most seasoned of veteran. And everyone else in between. The only thing I will say for the multiplayer flight, just make sure you use the default aircraft and liveries that come with the base package of Microsoft Flight Sim. Any custom paintwork or aircraft, they break my sim and then the whole stream goes, ha ha ha. Better luck next time. Many thanks, MM, for the subscribe. Mac Shiggity Pilot is here. Good evening to you and happy Friday, my dude. So we're about 5 minutes out. We're going to start a small descent down to 2,000 feet. As we watch our speed here, as we're approaching slowly but surely into Rotterdam. So we'll be making an entrance in on the left side. The music stopped. As we go heading mode, as will bank us out slightly to the left, and then the airport will be on our right hand side. Actually, says, I'll join in. Where to start? So the ICAO code for this airport that we're going to land at is Echo Hotel Romeo Delta. It's Rotterdam Airport, also known as The Hague. So from here, we are going to take off, well, once we land, open up multiplayer, we're going to take off and we're going to head up to Texel, which is Echo Hotel Tango X-Ray. We're going to point and laugh at where I broke my leg, well, kind of broke my right leg, I broke my legs. We're going to point and laugh at the spot and say, that's what Murphy did. And then we're going to head back down to Amsterdam. That is the plan. Spagos is here. He says, I'm shy. That's quite okay, Spagos. You're more than welcome. Ah, Jim Oates. That's a very good idea. Guys, we also have a Discord. So our Discord channel, a great bunch of people's over there. For any advice you may need for your flight simulation, it's great to post some pictures and videos, and just a general kind of chat and hang out kind of a place. So be sure to check it out. Jer is here. He says, any news on VR? I haven't heard anything official. Philly Road says, I better fire up the sim. Cooling fans are gonna whirl. Samuel Week says, one person that disliked the video probably didn't like aviation. It's not everyone's cup of tea. So we'll keep an eye on our altitude here. We're at 2,000 feet. As we have Rotterdam outside of the window. Patrick Doyle asks, how many monitors do you use, Murph? So I use one kind of TV. It's a 55-inch TV. I use that as my main screen for all my simming and gaming and general gawking at things. And then on my right-hand side, I have a smaller 24-inch monitor for the chat, so I can see all you people, which is grand. The Chas man is here. He says, top of the evening to you. How are you, Chas? I hope you're keeping well, my friend. Happy Friday to you. Kane Never says, oh, beautiful Rotterdam, how I miss Eurovision 2020. Darren Pollard has just subscribed. Many thanks, Darren. Happy Friday to you, sir. I hope you're keeping well. Many thanks for stopping by. Bad Dog, Rotterdam, where all the people are pickled, according to the beautiful South. Ed Reed says it was probably a doctor who had complaints about broken leg surgery. Dookie says it's just weird how realistic these games get. I agree. McShiggity Pilot says the sim is booting up. That's always a good sign. McShiggity Pilot, I recognize the name. Would you be also a viewer over on Catstrader's stream, perchance? Because I believe Cat is going to be on later on tonight. Charlie YT09 is here. Good evening to you, Charlie. Dougal says, I don't see the Mooney on the marketplace. Ooh, that could be a sign that they're updating it. Give it some time, Dougal. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Zulu time, Simwings are launching an event. It's their kind of a group event flight. They're trying to raise a bit of money for a really good cause. I'm going to be streaming here live tomorrow night. They have a number of sim pilots or simulation pilots signed up to it, including Q8 pilot. So be sure to check it out. If you guys want to fly on the stream, just head over to the Simwings support website and you can register your interest with them. It raises money for a really good cause for the less fortunate of those who just wouldn't, in normal circumstances, have access to flight simulation. So they do a really good job. There's a number of the guys here in the chat tonight, Dougal McTavish, Pilot Peely, amongst others, and of course we have Ed Reed and Dangerous Brian. All these guys know about it, so be sure to check it all out. I'll probably start streaming tomorrow at 1800 hours, which is GMT +1. So just for a time check, my local time here in Tipperary is 21:14. So if you check out your clock, have a look, and count the difference. Avio Man is here as well, and he says, and myself, I forgot you, Avio Man, and I believe you're going to be streaming it, my dude. Abraham Lincoln is in the house. Good evening to you. McShiggity Pilot says, yes, personal friend of them. Nice, dude. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ty. I've been following him for years. I absolutely love his content. There's been so much I've learned in terms of flying airplanes and like general VOR stuff and ATC. Ty Polar is here. He says, greetings from Waterford. Greetings from Tipperary. Hello, Typolar. You're very welcome along. It says, it's getting busier. That's what we want to see. A big shout out to all the members from Simwings. There's a good few of them here. As Aviaman has just become a member. Many thanks, my dude. I really appreciate the support. And yeah, guys, a large tip of the cap and a big cheers in your direction for all the fine work you're doing. And let's see, can we get you guys as much exposure as we can? Actually, says, Ty and I are from the Boston, Massachusetts area. Nice, dude. I remember he did a video flying out of Beverly, and ever since then, Beverly in Microsoft Flight Sim, I like flying out of that area. I didn't know you guys had that sort of scenery up there. Like, it's fantastic. Like, if you head south out of Beverly, and I've done a couple of flights, you know, you go over Boston and head down by Providence, and then I headed out to Block Island. Absolutely great flying out there. Samuel Weeks says, I'm from Suffolk. Because if I pronounce it the other way, or if I just say Suffolk as it's supposed to, because I'm Irish, it doesn't sound like Suffolk. But we shall see. Runway in sight. Autopilot coming off. Actually says, I'm a private pilot from Norwood. Nice! That's fantastic, dude. Like, you know, in the north, in North America particularly, flying is pretty much just a general way of transportation. I mean, you guys need it. Your country is so big. In Ireland, it's relatively not difficult, but, you know, it's not as straightforward to get involved in it. And weather has huge impact here, as I imagine it would do in parts of Boston, Massachusetts. But the weather in Ireland, it's apart from the rain and the dullness, it's the wind we get here. Charlie says, I really like this channel. Samuel says, same. Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate the kind words, fellas. Now, Murph. Let us see. Do. Is that like a Harrison Ford moment? We're going to go for the taxiway? Looks like a runway to me. McShigley says, my family is from Athlone in Ireland. Sweet! That's only up the road, dude. Athlone is the most centre point on the island of Ireland. It's right slap bam in the middle. Dan Bryan says, I live in Essex, not far from Suffolk. It's proper gusty here. So, Daniel M kind of gave us the heads up during the week over on Twitter to say, Murph, there's some weather coming in. And I was like, oh, dude, this is going to be great. And it didn't really do what we thought it was going to do, but I think the UK is getting it fairly bad. Dookie says, my grandma lived in Dublin, and we would go to see her every Halloween to go trick-or-treating, because they don't do that here in Belgium. That's a cool story. Jeffrey Bennett is here. Good evening to you, Jeffrey. Hey, Murph, missed you yesterday. I've been trying to learn the Garmin G1000. I'm making a mess of it, Murph. Well, that's how you learn. Make a complete mess of it. And get someone else to clean it up when you're finished. So we have one notch of flaps here as we do our approach. We got a little bit of wind, but nothing to worry about. Cockney John is here. Good evening to you, John. Happy Friday to you, my friend. Awesome Frey is here as well. Good evening. Okay, Murph, best behaviour. You have a lot of people watching tonight. So, runway 06. We're a little bit high, but as you can see, the airport and the runway, it's only massive for a little Cessna. We'll do our best to keep it here in the centre line. We're going to watch the flare. We have one notch of flaps deployed. I love the way the runways aren't level, because that's pretty much spot on in real life, and you have to kind of plan where to hit the runway. There's 50 knots. We'll keep it on the centre line. There's 40 knots. Add a small bit of manual braking. Bring our flaps back in. We're finished with them. And welcome to Rotterdam. Douglas Tavis says, trying to download the Mooney in time for the next leg. Nice. Yeah, the Mooney, guys, it's very pretty to look at. Like, if you know, if I were to choose between the Mooney or the 182, I would have to go with the Mooney in its current setting. Dougal says, super sweet landing. Many thanks, my dude. McShiggity says, how to change the time of day. So if you move the mouse up to the top of your screen, go for the weather icon, click on that, and you have this blue bar, and you can just drag that in any direction. If you're on the main menu, you can do the same as well, except the weather menu will be hidden away up in the top right hand corner. Kane Lafford says, you forgot to face cam for dramatic effect. I put that down to all the cheers we did at the start. But cheers, Keen, and face is now dramatic. Ah, tasty beverage. Many thanks, Ed, for throwing up the specs. Typoler says, nice landing, as does Charlie. Well, thank you all very much. Samuel Week says, I haven't been to Ireland, but the pictures of the countryside look beautiful. No wonder they call it the Emerald Isle. Yeah, like, it's... Ireland's grand. It's nice. Batty says, what plane is yours and from what edition? I think this is the Premium Deluxe. So it's a Cessna 172 Skyhawk with the steam gauges. Which is not... It's just nice. I was going to say it's not nice. Cue the crackle from the legs. Typoler says Sláinte. Sláinte. Macham Buchel. Agus Gorav Milia Mahagut. You have to learn all them words for the next stream. All of you. People always say it's very hard to understand Irish people because we tend to speak very fast. And the only reason why that is, we have so much to say and such little time to say it. Select weather on the tool menu. Okay, so make sure that you have your weather settings back in your main menu where you have your map. Make sure you have your weather settings to preset and not live, and you should be able to adjust them from there. I'll show you now in a sec once we go back out to the main menu. Lightsphere says, Murphy, was that Gaelic? Yes, it was. Pilot Peely says, life is short, you need to get it out all there. Yes, you need to get it all out. If you're asking me what's in my cup on tea, correct, it's not tea. It's not some Zambrosi or Zambroski. It was this Lithuanian vodka. I had a sip of it the other night when we were flying in Lithuania. And I said, you know, it kind of tastes a small bit like more. So I'm having a little bit more. But only a teeny tiny amount. Okay, so park and brake can now come on. We can turn off our squawk. We're finished with you. Strobe lights are now coming off, as is our taxi lights. They're all finished. Avionics can come off here now as well. We can cut our mixture. Chugga, 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 chugga. That all sounds good. Turn our mags off here now as well. Fuel shut off valve comes off. And get our lights off. And our batteries off.
Appreciate the comeback, good money.
Many thanks, Rudder, for the donation through the super chat. Cheers, my friend. Really appreciate the support, my dude. Happy Friday to you. Ed Reed says, there are many old pilots and many bold pilots, but no old bold pirates. Oh yeah. So, welcome to Rotterdam. So what we do from here, I'm going to go back out to the main menu. I hear calm Irish folk music, says Samuel Weeks. This will be the calm before the storm, and we open up everything to you guys. So give us 1 second there, guys, and I'll go to the menu here. Just going to refill my cup, so bear with me. Okay. I left you in this position. I'm glad to see you didn't all move. So when we're setting up some menu options, I'll leave the camera on so you can kind of see some of what I'm doing. So there's a couple of things to do. If you would like to join us for our multiplayer, select the airport, which is going to be in Rotterdam. And if you want to start in a cold and dark state, as in, you know, engines turned off, parked on the parking area, make sure you click on the runway arrow here and just bring it down to anywhere parking. Yeah, so click on that and that'll sort out all that for you. The next thing then to do, as we get some more background music on, because, well, that's what we do. 1 second now. Next thing you do, you're going to select your departure your arrival airport rather, and that is going to be HTX, which is Texel. So that's the first thing. So that's going to show you your route, how long it's going to take, and the aircraft in which you're going to select. Then, your flight conditions. This is where it all happens. First and foremost, you have multiplayer options. From in here, you want to make sure that you select all players. That's very important. Next up, air traffic, turn that off. If you leave it on, it's going to show you real world traffic, or, you know, if you have it on AI, it'll create AI. But if you have it on live traffic, it'll populate the sky with the real world traffic. So you don't necessarily want to see that. We just want to see ourselves. Next up, with your weather and time, you can have custom, preset, or live. I like to leave it on preset because we can kind of change our conditions here. We can change our time of day, we can change a preset for the weather. It's only a matter of selecting it. The last thing we do, if you go up to your username up the top right hand corner, click on your username, it'll show a status, make sure it's online, and then Murphy is flying on the North Europe server. So if you're, for instance, in the United States, it's going to show a United States as automatic. Just click on the drop down, find the North Europe server, make sure it's selected, and that's it. So that's what we do. So I hope that makes sense. So the weather and the time of day, I'll go through it now in a jiffy, because what I do at this stage, I tend to restart the sim because it has little bugs and gremlins that like to break the machine. Jeffrey Bennett asked, what server is it going to be on? We're going to be on the North Europe server. So, make sure you have a beverage of your choice and that it's full, because the next flight will take about 30 minutes, give or take. If anyone is going to fly in the Cessna Grand Caravan, well, that's just going to be kind of badass, because that's what I jumped out of, up these neck of the woods. Dougal says, be Janie, there's loads of them. Lots and lots and lots. One thing I will say, guys, please be sure that you only use the default aircraft and the default liveries. Otherwise, it'll break my stream, and I will jump out that window in a fit of anger. Bruges, yeah, I hear Bruges is nice. Oh yeah, and no airliners, guys. We're in the low and slow category, if that's okay with you lot. We tend to call it Murphy's Flying Circus, so we keep it to the smaller planes. And considering most of us are probably going to be in Cessna 172s, an airliner is just meh. You're not going to get an airliner down in Texel. Okay. So I'm going to stick with the Cessna 172. Weight and balance. Gives a bit of fuel for this one. Oh dear. There are so many people here. So, Texel, or Texel as they call it, that's where we're going. So the time of day and weather settings, we're going to go for 1500 hours. We're going to use the preset of a few clouds, and we'll tidy that up once we get down there. Ahmed is here. He says that was a professional approach and landing. The poppies were on red on white, Mr. Murphy. Why, thank you. Okay, let's see if this all comes together and works. Jeffrey Bennett says, when I get better, I'll start flying with you guys. 100% Jeffrey, you will be more than welcome, my dude. Irish people do talk fast. We're cursed with it. Ed Reese says, it's showtime. So yeah, just letting the sim boot up here in the background. I have a couple of small little things to check to make sure it doesn't instantly, die. Darren Gordon Curl is here. He says, greetings from Nova Scotia in Canada. Good evening. Vulture Oath from Tipperary. Oh. Oh. So what we'll do, when we take off, we tend to circle around the runway for a little while. We gain a bit of altitude and it just kind of gives everyone a chance to get airborne. So don't forget guys, if you're new here, we also have a Discord up and running. We kind of, keep you all in the know of when we go flying and what we do and how we do it, and you can share some of your pictures and videos. And we have a livery pack from our in-house Picasso, known as Sir Blackie a lot. He's made some really, really nice liveries for some of the aircraft here in Microsoft Flight Sim. Okay, so again guys, just to remind you, no custom liveries, please only use the default ones that come with the program. Otherwise it'll all break, and we don't want that. Colonel Fork says, had to switch to the East USA not to crash upon loading in Rotterdam. That's not a good sign, dude. Is that server issue? Hard to know. John J. Rambo's here. He says, Murph, do you wear a kilt? No. That's more the Scots would wear the kilts. I can barely work trousers, so a kilt sounds too confusing. Ed Reed says, Murph, quick lesson on common Irish slang so we don't misunderstand the words as cursing. Where to start? There are so many Irish words that could be considered curses, but we'll try and keep an eye on it, and I'll point you in the right direction. Colonel Fork says, I feel it's a multiplayer problem, an application crash. Yeah, mine is a little bit on the choppy side, so just guys, make sure you're in default liveries, please. Crack is good. So the word crack, C-R-A-I-C, crack to an Irishman means fun. You're up to good crack, or the crack was mighty, or mighty. The fun was mighty. Or you might say to someone, "How's the crack?" And that's basically, "How are you?" So we say crack a lot. So it's not crack as you think. It's crack. How's the crack? Or the crack is mighty. Or this looks like mighty crack. So we get away with it because it's spelled differently. Oh look, I forgot to disappear the shameless plug. That's a rookie mistake, I hate to see it. So, enough of my jibber jabber. Battery on, parking brake on, fuel shut off valve goes to in, mixture to rich, throttle 1/4 of an inch. Don't need landing lights, beacon and nav. Fuel pump is done and dusted, mags turning on. Oh, real choppy here. Clear prop! Good starting the engines. Keep the RPMs down below 1,000 just for the sheer crack of it. See what I did there? Sheer crack of it. Okay, so this is all looking good. Wait for the Owl avionics to warm up. Takeoff runway says PJD. And depending on the wind, our departure here is going to be runway 06. And now it says, weird, when I look at you, you're not in a 172. Interesting. I wonder if that maybe it depends on the pack or package, if you like, of Microsoft Flight Sim. So for example, if you're in the standard version, although it should still be modeled, like it's a default Cessna. We'll put it down to, we don't know. So our altitude for this flight, we're going to bring it up to 4,000 feet. And everything else appears to be kind of alright. GPS mode can go onto that. Runway heading and all that will tidy it up once we get out there. So go ahead and get some lightage on. And let's see what bugs are going to be alive here, shall we? So, parking brake coming off. Let's see what happens. One to beam up. Energize. Right guys, don't be shy. Airborne as soon as you can. And we'll hold the pattern. It'll be a left-hand pattern, so as you take off, bear to the left. And we'll just do a few circles around the aerodrome. This is what we call organised chaos. It's chaotic, but we try to keep it organised. Colonel Fork says, I'm firing up the caravan on a different server for now. That'll bring back memories. I have a picture behind me, actually, of me jumping out of the plane. Remind me when we get to Texel, I'll show you. And I'll try and dig out that video as well. It's hilarious, like. Well, it's just me sitting in a door and I fall. No, I jump. I jump. Bad Dog says, I'm going to join you all tonight. Hopefully, if I follow you all, I might just be able to land. Or maybe not. Well, that's going to be cool, man. Just the only way you're going to learn this, guys, just jump into it. Don Gallagher says, he cut you off. That's okay. We'll forgive them. I'm just going to go ahead of this Cessna because that's what I do. We don't need flaps for this departure because the runway is mighty, mighty long. So, hot stuff coming through. Okay, if we're good to go, as the avionics are playing up. I think it's a server issue. Okay, power coming in. Airspeed is alive. There's 40 knots. There's 50. We're getting light. 55. Rotata. Up you get, you devil. Slight bit of wind, but that's okay. Continue our climb here. This looks like the world's third largest air force, Spagos. It's nuts. Wait till we get a little bit higher. And hopefully there's no gremlins. Just remember, guys, default aircraft only and default liveries. Anything else and it's murder, death, kill for the stream. It just stops. So we're just going to trim ourselves out here. We're going to go to our autopilot. We're going to activate. No, we're not. The autopilot just said, nope, not going to play with you. It does work, which is a good sign. We just can't see it. There we go. Altitude is going to be to 4,000 feet. Come back here, you devil. Yes. 500 feet per minute, please. Yes. Heading mode is on. Continue our climb here. Watch our mixture as we do it. Ed Reed says 192 watching and only 94 likes. Dougal says, my sim won't have it. Dougal, if you wanted to take off from another airport closer up to Texel, maybe the load in from all the other aircraft, or try change your options, you can have just generic models rather than the actual models for your aircraft. It might help your system. So if we pan around our camera here, there's nothing but fireflies. Okay guys, we're going to do a left turn 90 degrees. 310 degrees for our left turn. Jeffrey Bennett says, can't adjust my joystick on sensitive anymore. All it says is done. Yeah, there's a bug that won't allow you to change your sensitivities. So depending on what you're using, it could be a headache. So we're just going to give people plenty of time to get airborne. So guys, we're going to make another left turn. The heading is going to be 230 degrees. So Murph, don't break the stream. But we want to change a bit of altitude with the clouds. Just to make it all look a little bit interesting. And rip. That's what happens. Hello, darkness, my old friend. And we were doing so well. Murphy, don't change the weather. I assume, of course, it was the weather. The only thing I was messing with. Would have been worse. We could have exploded. And for those of you who want to know, the name of this song on my stream deck in capitals says fail. I must get to that picture. Don't go anywhere. I'm back to you. So we're talking about jumping out of an airplane. Samuel Weeks says someone loaded in a custom. Aha. Colonel Ford says I just app crashed too. So guys, if you want to join us with the multiplayer, only use the default aircraft. If you use a custom livery or aircraft, it'll break. And we will find out who the culprit is if they don't own up to it. Anyway, so here's Misha. It's Misha Lumsa. Hang on. Alright, I can get it. There we go. That's little old, well, big old me jumping out of a plane in Texel. For the documentary, that was moments before disaster. There should be a candle lit beside this thing, and it should be held as a shrine. But yes. Dougal says, is it okay to use the Mooney? Yes, it is. So, you know, if it comes through the store, it should be fine. It's only if there's a custom aircraft launched in, well, it's liable to break. For whatever reason. We don't know why. It just does. EHRD, Rotterdam. set as departure, EHTX. It's Texel, that's where we're going. Don't mess with the clouds, Murphy. Okay, we should be good. Guys, make sure there's no custom liveries, please. Cotton McNamara says, which iPad is that? It's the B-pad. Pre-legless photo. I like it. I like it. Pavo77 says, for the love of God, when is PMDG coming? When they fix up some things in the sim. Colonel Fork says, is that M81 woodland style camo? So they call it Irish DPM, disruptive pattern material. That's the camouflage we used to use. Oh, like in Bray, nothing in there. John J. Rambo says, intermission time, popcorn and beer. Kane Laffer says, Two-Tone Murphy, streams are just as successful as me in an Irish test. Patrick Cullen says, loving all the orbits while we wait for the leader. Ed Reed says, 90% of the probs can be resolved by reading the forums. Indeed they can. Speaking of which, a shameless plug to put in our link to the Discord. If you guys are interested in jumping on over there, that's where we kind of hang about when the stream is not on. So I'll know now, doing some testing, if we'll have another kind of murder, death, kill. Yeah, we're gonna have another one. Guys, is there seriously someone in a custom livery? Because that will 100% break the stream. Vladimir says, I thought Irish digital camo was a bunch of multicolored beer shapes. It is. We use that to confuse the enemy. So I don't know how long this will last for, but let's see, shall we? Bear with me. I know you can't see what I can see. Well, let's try this again, shall we? Nope, it's a rip. That's never good. Miles from Value, Berg Navy. Ooh. G Slayer says, I crashed again. So, let's try this again, shall we? We shall try some things in the background while everything's loading. So I can kind of see what's breaking it. It is the use of an unofficial modification. Do. Right, that should fix that. Now the money should be good. Johnny says, hurry, the sun's going down. Wait. I can pull it back. The mysteries that is flight simulation. won't get too excited, guys. We're all experienced flight simulators here. Flight simulators, flight simulation aviators here. Do you remember the days of FSX? Your time is spent working on config files to tweak that extra 1 or 2 FPS before the DirectX 10 days. So we're well used to sorting this headache out, I would have thought. That's the sim firing up. We'll get some hopeful music here now. Feel hopeful. Cross your fingers, and your toes, and your legs, and your arms. Light a candle and stick it at the window. Think happy thoughts. Again with the negative waves, Moriarty. Kelly's Heroes. Have you seen that movie? If you didn't, why not? Checking for updates. Interesting. Sean Leo says, my Garmin is switching off. Yeah, that's kind of a bug. PJD says, going to Landon Park. Javi Man says, gotta go right now. My time to shine in a bit. We'll see you all tomorrow for the SimWings Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 Grand Group Flight. Javi Man, you enjoy yourself, dude. Best of luck on your stream. And looking forward to tomorrow to seeing you there, my dude. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. We'll try it one more time. And failing that, I'll try something else. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Do. Departure. I want to go to EHTX, which is Texel. Fire for effect. Throw that in. All players. Okay. Let's see what happens here, shall we? It could be good, bad, or indifferent. John J. Rambo says it was a great movie. Yes, it was. Is there a fix for the Garmin? Asked Dougal. Not yet. Now it says, I think I'll do a flyby over my house in the meantime. We're learning new things tonight. So while we're all sitting here waiting, what's your favourite aircraft to fly here on Microsoft Flight Sim? Surely you have a favourite by now. I have a favourite, and don't call me Shirley. Colonel Fork is in. He says the C-172 steam gauge. Yeah, you're a man after my own heart. I do like that airplane. Billy Roth says the DA-62. Jim Oates says the 152. McShiggity Pilot says the 172. The music is getting lively. G Slayer says we got an A320. You see, they could be outside of our stream as well, guys. That's why there could be an issue. But fear not. We'll try and sort it out. If this little maneuver that I'm trying here doesn't work, we'll try and figure something else out. Hello, Sim. You're looking well. Okay, I left you in this position, as I tend to do this from time to time. That needs to go in. Clear prop! The engine is well primed by now, I'd say. Philip Breen likes the 172. Pilot Peely, the G36 Bonanza, or the Mooney. Yeah, the Mooney's so much fun. Warhamster says the Robin Cap 10. That's really nice. Sir Black Yalat likes the King Air 350. Jamfjord likes the X-Cub. I'm a fan of that as well. It's, yeah, absolutely fantastic, guys. Now we're saying 4,000 feet goes into this. You go on to 7,000. That's where you belong. We're going to go to GPS mode. Just turn on our landing and taxi lights, strobe lights, all of that kind of good stuff. And let's see if this works. And at least we'll try and get ourselves airborne. 6 hours later. John Morris is here. Good evening to you, John. Happy Friday to you, my dude. He says, hi, here for a Friday flight fix. Chasman says, what about switching to another server like Northeast? Bear with me, my dude. That is a trial currently in progress. I want to see if that fixes it. Do. Bear with me now. Get ourselves lined up here. Just double checking a couple of the little settings here. I'm doing things in the background. You're probably saying, Murph, you're going awful quiet here for a second. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. I know I do. It makes total sense to me now. Now, let us see. Let us see. Right. Bit of power here. Get ourselves lined up onto the runway. Famous last words. Don Gallagher says, see you guys, going to eat some American chop suey. Nice. Ed, message received and actioned. Okay. You guys ready? I think I'm ready. I'm ready. You ready? We're ready. You'll need to select loads of power. I was trying to do his accent earlier on. Hang on, can we do an Arnie accent? Hang on. I need to kind of hear myself as I say it. You need to try and fly. Fly the Cessna. Oh my god. Okay, there's 60 knots. We're airborne. It's a night of trying to do accents. You know. Flying is great. This time of year. Famous last words. Okay, so we're up and at them. Benny P says, I see a few special skyscrapers in the port of Rotterdam. The issues of this seems not to be solved yet. No, there are some kind of weird issues with real narrow kind of weird buildings. And like they kind of use very strange buildings for like train tracks and stuff. But we shall see. Okay, so I'm going to... If you guys are still circling around the airport, I can't see you now, but don't worry, that's for good reason. We're now going to go straight on course, so you can go to nav mode on your autopilot. And we're going to head straight up to Texel. We're going to set for 4,000 feet. We're going to climb to 500 feet per minute. And give it a bit of time. let the sim kind of calm down, wait till we get out of kind of the busy airspace of Amsterdam, and let's see what happens. I need your clothes, your boots, and your airplane. Funny accents. I was trying to do Nicolas Cage earlier, but I can't do it. Do you know who's really good? Your man out of The Big Bang Theory can do Nicolas Cage. Hi, Nick here. No, that wasn't great. Dougal Matava says, my Garmin is dead. Give me a heading. Stand by. Do 357 363, I'd say 363. Murphy, what a rookie. 004 degrees. 330 says Ed. We shall see now in a moment. Andrew Noble 70 is here. He says, hello, Mr. Murphy. Hello, Mr. Noble. Good evening and happy Friday. Dan Fjord says, it wasn't bad. It's Wallowitz, isn't it? That's the one. PJD says 4,000 feet, correct and right. The heading I am currently situated at is 009 or 010 degrees from Rotterdam. Basically, have a look on your VF4 map. So when you open your VF4 map, you're heading not dead north, but just slightly kind of north. About 10 degrees should do it. Chasma says, woot woot, 105, do I hear 106? We got 106, 106, coming in, 107? No, we got 106, going once, going twice. Okay, so I've moved server. I picked up the entire planet and moved it to a different server. And I'm just testing it out here for the minute. But as soon as it gets stable, we'll jump it back into the other server. And the reason, the issue was we're too close to Amsterdam. I imagine there's a whole load of dudes flying over there with all sorts of different liveries. Paddy says, Murph, do you know how I can fix this? When I start a flight, I have my sim rate increased to 1 automatically. Do you know anything about it? So if you go into your controls, go into the options, go into controls, on your filter options on the left hand side, make sure that's all clear. Type in sim rate and make sure there is nothing assigned to your sim rate. Right, don't go near the weather, Murphy, because, well, the last time you killed it. So we'll continue flying on. My hope is by the time I get to Texel, I can jump back on the European server and catch all the landings. That's the hope. Train's gotta go. We'll see you the next time, my dude. Tasma says, the clouds look beautiful. They really do. So let's see how we go here. With a bit of music to lighten the mood and make us feel all warm and fuzzy. Chippy says, the avionics are definitely stable for me on the Europe West server. Okay. Max Chickadee Pilot says, how do you change your name tag while flying in the sim? I don't think you can. I do like flying around the Netherlands. It just looks nice. So, quick check. We're still climbing. Adjust our mixture to make sure it behaves. We got the nose cam. Guitar Freak 3422 says, Australia says hi. Hello, Australia. From the cold, cloudy conditions of North County Tipperary in Ireland, happy Saturday to you, my dude, and happy Friday to everybody else. Papa Joe B says, just stay behind the propeller and you'll be totally fine. Mike G says, this seems to be the official tune of Two Tone Murphy. It's a really great song, best song, tremendous. Yeah, I do like this music. And then you time it. Guitar Freak says it's pretty cold here right now. Really? It's like minus 1 degree Celsius here. Gabriel Dillon, I know you have the abilities. You can do it. Godden is here, he says, little nav map tells me there are 41 multiplayers in the area. Well, holy humbugs. Jeffrey Bennett says, did McShady want to change his name on the aircraft? If it is, it's under the ATC settings. And I think he just wanted to change the username. Okay, so Murphy, let's see, can you do this without breaking everything? It usually takes a few minutes, but if this works, I'm a genius. If it doesn't work, I'm an idiot. Only time will tell. Oh hey, how's it going? Other random aircraft. Oh look, there's another. Okay, so let's hope this all turns out the way we want it to. G Slayer says, excuse me boys, this Mooney wants to go. The Moonies are fast. So hopefully with a bit of luck, and God bless your little white cotton socks. Oh dear. So the North Europe server is just saying, do you know what? We're not going to do that. So recommendation to the channel. Let's see, West Europe. Let's try West Europe. Hey guys, why don't you try West Europe? And let's see if this works, as our avionics decides to come back on. It could be a glitch with like one server, I never thought of that. Why, thank you. So autopilot, nav mode, altitude we want is 4,000 feet. We're currently on 4,000 feet. There's some music. We got a little bit of chop. We have some airplanes in the background. Oh no. It was going so well until it most certainly wasn't. Oh dear. Murder, death, kill. Oh dear, part 2, says Mike G. That's okay. %, 6 knots. You guys keep going. I'll think of something else. It wouldn't be a 2-turn Murphy flight without some sort of shenanigans. I've no idea what's crashing it though. It's super annoying. But you know what it must do in the background? So we'll boot up our sim again. Six Knot says the autopilot seems more stable on West Europe. Well, that's good. Guitar Freak says, I want to go to Ireland. It's great fun. Obviously, you know, not as much in the last, you know, this year. But in general, it's usually great fun. Spago says, turn the avionics off and on, it should come back. They're really strange bugs, aren't they? Right, Murphy. Let's see if we can get this working again. Get that to jump in. We were going so well too, weren't we? It was just like, yeah, it's finally working, Murph, you're a genius. And then we weren't. Ah, well. Okay, let's try it again, shall we? Merlin Flyer is here. Good evening to you. Happy Friday, dude. So, the theme for Wrath of Khan just started on my Spotify, says Colonel Fork. It's either that or Hello Darkness, my old friend. Could be worse, could be raining. It's always worse when it's raining. We'll give it time. It should work. Hashtag blame the Klingons. Hi, 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 hi. It's kind of powerful music, this. Okay. Right, Murphy. Let's see what you can do. Is this the potato field? No. But don't worry. This is kind of dangerous. Look at all like the wind farms. Bushes. Look out for the bushes, Murph. This is a dangerous kind of a place we took off from. It's okay, we'll figure it out. Scott says you have the best tunes, Murph. And thank you, Scott. Okay, this place is a bit, imagine putting an airfield over here, right? Spike says, gotta go, breakfast awaits. Happy landings. You enjoy your breakfast, my dude. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Ed Reed says, invites only, Murph. No. I will jump back onto one of the public servers shortly. You see, the problem with the invites only, a closed group, we can only get a maximum of 6 players. And I have been in touch with Asobo, and yes, they're saying we're going to try and expand it. I've also started building a repository of liveries, but they're not too mad about kind of supporting or saying they can support all the other liveries because they've no way of controlling it. And like, okay, you could drop liveries in through like a freeware section of the store, but they haven't done that yet. It's on one of the wish lists. Where is the main power switch for the Garmin on the Mooney? As in your avionics switch, it should be over on the left hand side beside your 2 battery switches. Should be 2 left or 2 red switches on the left. The last one on the right hand side should be your avionics. That's okay, Guitar Freak. It's only dangerous if you hit something, says Scott. I agree. So we're back airborne, that's the good thing, and it looks to be somewhat silky smooth. So we'll continue on our flight, and worst case scenario, if we can't see the group, we'll think of something else. But for the moment, we'll try and keep everything on the straight and narrow. We've got to 3,000 feet now because we're relatively close to Texel. They need to get deliveries for the AI traffic, says Philly Roach. Yeah, they got to work on that. McShiggity says, running smoothly. That's what I like to see. And as much as the group flights are part of this stream, and like I adore them, especially watching you guys landing, I suspect it's because where we're flying, we're so close to Schiphol. That is a major airport, and it's one of the major routes here in Europe. Like, you fly everywhere when you go to Amsterdam. So the chances of someone else using a custom livery is going to be an issue. But leave it with me. We'll try and figure it all out. So we're climbing nicely. We have some more tunage. 6 Knot says, what about using generic aircraft type as last resort? You wouldn't be the first to suggest that. Wait now, where do we find this? What's in graphics? Okay, let's see what happens. If it crashes, then we'll definitely know. Let's see what happens. We are all on the west. That makes sense. This is the West Europe server. Yeah, West Europe. Let's see if this works. Max Shiggity says West Europe is running well. That's good to hear. I haven't picked up anybody yet. But I hope we will soon. Six Knot says, I saw you for a min and then you disappeared. Could be too far away. Pilot Petey says, I think we're behind you. I was about to start singing, I think I'm alone now, but I won't. I won't bore you with my tears or my songs. We have music for that. Keep an eye out for the fireflies. And with a bit of luck, it'll work. G Slayer says, hey Murph, how did you change servers in flight? So if you hit the escape key, like so, click on your username and change the server. So if you guys are behind me, well, let's try do some of these, shall we? And oh look, we got peoples. I'm pretty much going to fly straight in front of you, dude. What an impolite thing to do. So I'm okay, I'm right here. So I'm near Den Helberg. It seems to be a little bit of a... We'll see. Behave yourself, Sim. Spaceman says we can see you, Murph. That's always a good sign. ANP Gaming is here. Good evening and happy Friday. That was Cottle McNamara. Dougal says, love the Mooney. Oh, it's so much fun, dude. Like, I'm half thinking about flying that tomorrow. The Vidya Crusader has rambled into the room. Good evening to you, my dude. Happy Friday. You're very welcome along. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow we'll have a live stream. There won't be a group flight element of it for the Two-Tone Murphy stream. If you guys would like to take part, make sure you head over to the Simwings website. We're doing a charity fun run. We're going to try raise some awareness, raise some money if we can. The guys over at Simwings do an amazing job. They bring the world of flight simulation to some of the people who just, in normal circumstances, just wouldn't be able to have access to it. Maybe their age, their financial circumstances, even the country in which they live. So I'm delighted to be taking part. The stream should kick off tomorrow at 6 o'clock Irish time, or 7 o'clock, sorry, Zulu time, 1900 hours Zulu. We'll probably jump on the stream a little bit beforehand. So I really hope you guys can tune in tomorrow night. If you feel the need for donations, which I know a lot of you guys so kindly do to this channel, I would ask that for tomorrow, if you feel the need to donate, make sure you include the name Simwings. And any donations raised from the Two Tone Murphy channel, we will be donating it to Simwings. So be sure to check it out. We're going to have a good bit of fun. A lot of the guys in the stream here tonight are from Simwings. Dougal McTavish is here, Pilot Peely is here, Aviaman was here earlier on. We have Ed Reed and Dangerous Brian, to mention just a few. And I do believe Q8 Pilot will be taking part in this tomorrow as well. So if you want to take part, as I said, in the group flight, you can go over to the Simwings website, register your intent. They will get back to you. And yeah, it should be a hoot. It'll be off the hook. Keen Leffert says, how long will the stream be tomorrow? I imagine somewhere between 2 and 3 hours long. All going well. V1 Sim may also drop in too. Nice. I love his channel as well. Okay, we'll turn on course. We have some fireflies here in the background. Hello, multiplayer. Well, aren't you guys just looking fine? JB Trip Reports is here. Happy Friday to you, my dude. I hope you're keeping well. PJD is on me right. Philly Road says I'm sticking that into my calendar. Well, at least we have it kind of working. There could be a bit of chop here, but for the moment we'll behave. Now guys, if we can, I'm going to try and land first and then record all you guys coming in. It's only after taking us an hour and 35... no, it's only after taking us 2 hours and 35 minutes to get to our first landing as a group. That's progress. Dougal McTavish had a sim crash. Oh. And now it says, what server are you on, Murph? I can't see you. I'm on the West Europe server. Hey fellas, how's it going? You're looking well. No, I'll turn on the names once we get landed on the ground, because there's going to be so many guys flying, you'll see nothing but like name tags. You won't see the planes. So this island of Texel, some of the names. To the north, the area is called the Cocksdrop. Or is it the Corksdrop? No, the Cocksdorp or the Cocksdrop. Basically, there's a lighthouse. And we ended up finding this place, I think it was the first night we were here. And we all rented bicycles. And we cycled to the pub. And then we found a foam party. You know, like you get drowned it in foam. Good times. McShiggity says, I'm 16 miles to the south. That's okay, dude. Don't worry. We'll wait for you. John Morris says, the groups are no more than 6. Yeah, that's if you're in a closed group, John. But because we're in all players, we're pretty much sharing the server with everyone else. Like, I think we have 41 planes flying, I think. Which is crazy. It's crazy, I know. So a status, we seemingly have 157 people watching on YouTube. Hello everyone on YouTube. And we've got 22 people watching over on Twitch. Hello people on Twitch. You're all very welcome along. Happy Friday to you all. So the runway we're going to land at is going to be the easterly direction. James Lanning is here. Hello in Virginia, USA. Hello, James Lanning. Happy Friday to you, my dude. Many thanks for joining us. We're just about to make our approach here into Texel, or Dessel, depending on where you're from in the world. The Dutch, I believe, pronounce it as Dessel. This little old area, Two-Tone Murphy was here many years ago, and he jumped out of a Cessna Caravan. He landed on the runway like a lump of strawberry jam, broke me 2 legs, and made a mess. And it's all in good fun. But the scenery is actually quite spot on, to be honest. And I'll never forget, when the plane took off, we were like, oh my god, it's only 500 feet. And like, that was high, right? 500 feet is high up. Hey, Jacob says, when he was a young lad. Yes, well, when I was a younger lad. Okay, let's get a quick sit rep on where we are. So, runway should be coming up on the right-hand side because it's grass.
Hey, good morning.
As BG Smalls is now following. Many thanks, my dude. You're very welcome along. This is crazy, I remembered. So how I know where the airport is, there's like a racing track or a motocross track right outside of it. Hang on, we get me bearings now.
Hey, good morning.
As Lost in Iraq 1976 is now following. Welcome along, guys. Happy Friday. Many thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate the support, my dudes. BG Smalls has also subscribed to the channel. Many thanks, my dude. Really appreciate it, man. Thanks so much. So here's the runway. Here's the motocross kind of a place here. So I land this, and then I'll show you where I landed myself. So we're going to do a steep approach, because that's what we do. Lost in Iraq says, great stream. Many thanks, my dude. Andy Shaw is here. Hello, Cessna. Hello, other Cessna. Hello, Cessna, my old friend. It's all happening tonight. Scott Foy says, night all, time for dinner. Thanks again for the stream, Murph, as usual. Great time. Many thanks, Scott. You enjoy dinner tonight, my friend. And we'll hopefully catch you on the next stream tomorrow when we're showing off the group flight with Simwings. Typoller has landed. Cool, dude. So a very steep approach into the field here. Nothing new there, Murph. So at this stage, we'll put our face cam on for the dramatic effect. So you can look at the veins in my forehead pop out. There could be a go around. See the motocross track? Cool, we got shadows. Easy does it. Bleed some of the speed off. Now when you land on grass, you got to keep the nose as light as possible. If only the actual landing in real life was that nice. Well, we're done with the flaps. Keep the pressure on the elevator. Keep the nose up out of the grass. We'll turn left here. There is a bit of tarmac at them, which leads down to the hangars, the paracentrum, or I think it's paracentrum, but basically the parachuting center is down there. Right, Murph, you're going to turn and face this way. Okay, guys, now you bear with me. Get the engine stopped. Avionics off. Kill the throttle. Leave this guy on. Turn our battery off just for the mo. Make sure that this switch works, which it does. Now we're going to turn our name tags on. So hopefully we're going to pick up all you guys coming in for a landing. Traffic labels on, please. Oh, we can see people. This is going to be hilarious, right? Now, before I do anything else, I need to do this. We're going to hide me, as Jamfjord has just made a landing, and he made it look really easy. Got border. No, he didn't. Operated acorn is down. Here comes the congenial tea for a landing on a busy runway. Made that look really easy. Okay, who we got inbound? We can see Dougal McTavish. We can see Speedo. Colonel Fork is in the air. The Berkel Flyer is on approach. Time to cue the shameless plug, says Keen Lafford. Don't mind if I do. We're on the east server. Here comes Speedo. Nicely done. Oh, there was butter and margarine, and I can't believe it's not butter. Warhamster is inbound. It would appear Dougal is doing a go around. That's okay. Get your bearings, dude. You can circle back. Formed Meteor inbound. He's going around. Here comes Warhamster. It's looking nice. Oh, very nicely done, Warhamster. He made it look easy. BG Small says, "Liver content, keep up the great work, mate." Thank you so much, my dude. Blossom Rock says, "Airport code is Echo Hotel Tango X-Ray." Dropavino is here in the Cessna 172. Oh, this is looking nice. Oh, there was butter. Own risk inbound. Oh, you can just hear the throttle getting cut. Rotor 47 is here. If I buy the basic flight simulator, can I get the later other aircraft and airports? My understanding is yes. There's like multiple landings. Here comes Niles. Oh, it's looking good. Bit of a float, but he'll manage. He will manage. He's down. Spaceman 11 is down. Deep Future is down. Oh, very nice. Jetson 2001 is down. It's all happening. Erlansky. Have you got landing gear? Yes, he has. Watch your spacing, guys, otherwise it turns into a game of tennis. Jeffrey Bennett gives that a 9 out of 10. Here comes the Berko Flyer. Total show-off. Exposium. Nicely done. Formed Meteor, Pilot Peely, and Phil Green all in together. Very nice. Dougal McTavish. Oh, he makes that look easy. As does Astro. Papa Joe B is inbound. Max Shiggity Pilot, we can see it. Papa Joe B. You guys are getting very good at these landings. I can't believe it's not butter. Coley 205 inbound at a rate of knots. Nicely done, my dude. Eagle Eye 217. We got a great flare coming in. Chippy Arnold coming in behind. Oh, nicely done. Tribal Possum. USA PR1 with a massive flare. Glum Tapestry made that look way too easy. Here comes a whole load of guys. Like I said, it's organized chaos. Here comes Colonel Fork. All eyes on you, dude. In what looks to be a PC-12. 6 knots inbound. Nicely done, dude. Tam Official. Vintage Cosmos inbound as well. Paddy 140 in the background. Merlin Flyer making the steep approach. Paddy 140. And he's down. Hey Wendy, I can fly. Max Shiggity Pilot. Here he goes. He's looking for some space on the runway. And he's down. Every brake in the house will be deployed. Dougal McTavish says, gotta head off. Chitron Murphy. We'll speak later. Dougal McTavish, thank you so very, very much for joining us here tonight. Rudder donated 5 to the super chat. Keep going, mate. I love the multiplayer idea. Many thanks, my dude. Infinite Flight Gaming has just subscribed. Many thanks for your support, my dude. Happy Friday to you. A late touchdown, but it's okay. We've all made it. So, this is Texel, or Decel. So this fine assembly of simulation aviators. Look how he's all lined up, look. These are getting all very fancy. Okay, so we have Texel, right? Now it's kind of modeled fairly alright. Like, it's not great, but it's kind of okay. So we're going to ramble over. So you have the parachuting training area right here. And they use this little area. There are benches here, and this is like a little sand pit where you practice your parachute landing falls. And they use this area for like the professional parachutists because they can land there. Everyone else has to go somewhere else, but that's where the good guys go there. So, we're Murphy. And now, to bear in mind, Murphy was at an altitude about this. No, higher. About this. It was about 4,500 feet. So, as we're looking down, you would navigate by looking at the, the motocross track. So as you jump out of the plane, you get thrown all around the place. But the whole idea was you circle the field, and each time you circle closer and closer and closer. So where Murphy landed, they look so cool. This here is where the X marks the spot, which is right here. So, Murphy landed here, but he landed like a sack of potatoes. Crash, bang, wallop. If we were to go, it's like the line of like, a dead guy. That's where I landed, right there. Which is very funny. Well, it wasn't funny at the time, but it's funny now. What a fine collection of aircraft and people. So, what we're going to do, we're now going to head down to Amsterdam. Gabriel Dillon says, everyone give a minute's silence for Murph. If only, if only. So, let's see here, shall we? PJD is away. See you tomorrow. I ran out of fuel. That's okay, my dude. There are still shards of bones in the grass. Yep. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to restart my simulator. If you guys want to go grab a drink or a bathroom stop, our last flight of the night, we're going to take off here from Echo Hotel Tango X-Ray, which is Texel, and we're going to head south over to Schiphol in Amsterdam, Echo Hotel Alpha Mike. Jeffrey Bennett says, see you guys and maybe gals. Many thanks for joining us tonight, Jeffrey. We'll see you on the next one, my dude. You left your mark on Bing Maps. I absolutely did. For all the wrong reasons. So we're going to restart our machine. Not our machine, but our stream. And then we'll do it all over again. Bad Dog says, I landed in a field about 2 miles away. Bad Dog, my buddy did the exact same thing. He landed in a potato field. At least he landed. Well, I technically landed. It wasn't like a swan diver, like, like a graceful landing, but like, I landed. I made sure I landed. Just didn't turn out quite well. It could have been worse. Don't know how, but it could have been worse. E-ham. Or electronic ham. Some of the airport ICAOs can be funny. Irish Lad 019 is here. He says, go to Dubai. Maybe not tonight, dude. But Dubai is definitely on the list of places to visit. Don't forget, guys, we're over on Discord as well. And an announcement for tomorrow night. We're going to be joining the guys over at Simwings. They have a group flight. Simwings is, well, I keep saying it, but just to I'll make you aware. We all know how fortunate and lucky the vast majority of we are in the stream here tonight, because, well, most of us would have access to Microsoft Flight Sim. I know there's others waiting for it to come out on the console, but what Simwings do, for those who just don't have the means, maybe because of their age or their financial limits or limitations, they just wouldn't normally have access to a flight simulator. What Simwings do, they try to correct that. They raise awareness, they raise as much money as they can, and people can apply through the Simwings project. And, you know, we had a guy in the chat on Wednesday who was actually the recipient of a Simwings PC. It was a $2,000 PC that went shipping out to Jamaica. That's fantastic. If you guys want to take part in the group flight, I can't do it through my side of the stream, but if you guys want to do it, be sure to register with Simwings, and they'll get you, you know, they'll get you set up, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. They'll tell you where we're flying, what we're doing, how we're doing it, and yeah. It's going to be epic. Just get me hairy plane set up. Typoler says, good night, see you tomorrow. Thanks. Many thanks, my dude. We'll catch you soon. Tom of the Week says, Murph, I'll be there tomorrow. Rudder says, was living 10 years in Dubai. Great city and area. Nice. Jacob says, can I watch that? Also, Murph, 100%. Ed says, Murph, how to join and donate. So you can join the Simwings group. You can make donations through my chat. But just make sure you put in somewhere Simwings. Any money we raise, it's going straight to them guys. Of course, it's if you guys can't donate, that's no problem. It's all about getting awareness and getting their name out there. So the more people who view the stream come in, have the chat, we're going to have a good time, as we always do. That's going to be the plan. But you can donate through PayPal, you can do it through the normal ways. Jake, and yeah, 100% you can watch that tomorrow. So we're going to be live on the Two Tone Murphy channel sometime around 6 p.m. Irish time. That's going to be, or it could be 5:30 actually, because I think they're starting at 7 on Zulu time. Keep an eye on Discord, guys. I'll give you an update tomorrow. By the way, shameless plug for the Discord. You guys are probably getting sick of me putting all this stuff in. Murphy, we know your Discord. Why did I turn on avionics before the engine? That was a rookie mistake. I hate to see it. So beacon and nav lights. Just making sure the sim is stable before we take off out of here. It's a busy airport. A link to the Simwings website. McShiggity Pilot, that would have made a lot of sense. Copy link and paste. That's what you see. That's why I need you peoples in the chat to keep me on track. Because if I was left on my own devices, it'll all go crazy. Ed Reed has become a member. Well, many thanks, Ed. Cheers, my dude, and sláinte. Okay, Murph, get this plane into a state where we can boogie on out of here. Clear prop. Good. Get some lightage on. Kinaffer says, I should write a dictionary of two-tone Murphy quotes. Godden says, watch out, late arrival. Sim crashed for the third time today. Bit annoying, but still looks great and all. Simming's group flight starts at 8 p.m. says Dangerous. Brian? Okay, cool. So if that starts at 8 p.m, we'll probably go live at around 7:30. We'll have the crack and the chat. And yeah, we'll keep it real. Anna Lisa says, just want to say thanks for being a fab streamer and a kind, caring person. I shall be tuning in and donating tomorrow. Anna Lisa, can you take part in the halftime show, for which there will be dancing of moonwalking whilst doing the... Hang on. That way. Walk. Thank God the frame is only yay big. I'm only joking. And thank you so much for your kind words, Anna Lisa. It's always a pleasure to have you here in the stream with us, to keep us all company and keep us on the straight and narrow. So, transponder, Ash, we'll just turn it on, sure. Sure, why not? Parking brake coming off. Dan Fior says, I'm already pre-ordering two-tone Murphy. I can barely work trousers. Yeah, but like that's someone asked me to. Do you Irish people wear kilts? I'm telling you, I can barely work trousers. Like 2 legs. How many times have you put 2 legs into the one leg of the trousers? And be honest, you know, when you wake up at that, oh, it's choppy. When you wake up at that time in the morning, you know, you're still asleep and you're getting dressed, sitting on the side of your bed, because your mother always told you, sit down when you put on your trousers, otherwise you'll fall. And then you don't listen to her, and then you fall. And then after that, you'll make sure that you always sit on the bed whilst putting on your trousers. And how many times do you put 2 legs into the one trouser and you're thinking, can my day get any worse? I am that soldier. Annalisa says, I'll try that with the air boot on. Nice. Jam says, a few, in all honesty. See? Look at this collection of fine simulated aviation pilots. The simulated honor. It's all happening. I can hear my cat. We call her Cat, by the way. It avoids any sort of confusion. Her name is literally Cat. Hi, Cat. She might come in and sit up and say hello. She answers to the name Cat. She doesn't say much, but she's a great listener, which is what we want. So don't mind me, just kind of barge my way through here. We will need some flaps for a takeoff. That's how we do it, guys. Just don't ask for permission, just get airborne. Do. And like, don't crash into your peoples, Murph. That's okay. I'll go left, you go right. No, you go left. We both go left. Okay, this is crazy looking, but let's sure... Look out that way. Look, flying chickens. Distractions work. Power is set. Airspeed is alive. Mixture is full. Oh, that looks cool. Here's 40 knots. I've often put the... Annalisa says, I think if you've never put 2 legs into one trouser, you're an alien. I've often put my head through the arm of the jumper holes. Yeah. And then it looks like you're wearing this like super long polo neck. And you're just like, oh, the neck on that. The neck! So, flaps are in. So we're going to circle around the runway here until we all get airborne, and we'll form an orderly queue. Did someone just take off in an Airbus? I don't know. Okay, so autopilot on, heading mode please. Altimeter go to 3,000 feet. I want to climb at 500 feet per minute please. And that should now all be set, which it is. We're going to continue on this heading. I'm going to make a right turn to 300 degrees. As we start hanging around, waiting for some peoples to come on in. What are we looking for now? Yes, that'll work. Hello, the fireflies. King Leopard says, have you accidentally put 2 socks on 1 foot? Trying to get out of the jumper arm, and then the static from the then the static from the struggling zaps you ahead. Yeah, I've been that soldier. Many thanks for dropping the link there, Ed. So, progress report on the two-tone Murphy cups. Which are these? And they were designed by the very kind and very talented Mrs. Two-Tone Murphy. Anyway, I've ordered more of them. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to be giving them away on the stream a little later when they arrive, obviously. And there'll be different ways in which you can win one of them Two-Tone Murphy cups. PC Pilot 42 is now following. Many thanks, my dude. Lazy Pilot is here as well. He says, wow, nice flight.
Hey, good morning.
Rhoda 47 is here as well. Happy Friday to you. All sorts of kind of weird Twitch people came in and they're trying to sell me stuff. Away with you. In search of followers? Not really. Block that. Block that. And block that. That was a bit random, they all come in together. Ed Reed says, a mug would be nice for a win. Okay, new heading. Turn right to 030 degrees. As we continue our climb here up to 3,000 feet. Dimas is here. Oh, just in time for the bots. How nice. We timed it well, Dimas. You're very welcome along. Happy Friday, my dude. What about royalties for Mrs. Two-Tone's graphic designs? She does need a new kitchen. No comment. I'm thinking in like 2021, there's going to be like the Two-Tone Murphy channel official meetup that'll take place in my house. And the joining instructions, everyone's got to bring 1 piece of wood, 1 nail, and someone's got to bring like a saw, a hammer, and a whatever else. And between all the wonderful subscribers that we have, all like 3,000 of you on YouTube and like 1,000 of you on Twitch, she will have the kitchen of her dreams. Or at least that'll be the hope. Wishful thinking. So as we fly around Texel here, we have Murphy's Flying Circus. And I have to say, guys, it's looking nice. David says, thank you. Is that a subtle Irish accent I hear? Yes, indeed. And Elisa says, as long as we can paint wings and cockpits on the cabinets. I want an aviation-themed kitchen. Maxigity Pilot, we are going to Eham, correct? Correct. I just wanted to do 1 or 2 circles just to get everybody airborne. And then we'll be turning down to the right to resume our navigational magenta line. So we can nearly do that now. New heading, guys. Right turn to 120 degrees. For those of you up this neck of the woods. Ed Reed says, I got the beer. Jacob says, I'll bring myself. Okay, guys, we're going to go to our GPS mode now. Follow our nav. Andy Shaw's here. He says the world map is looking crazy over the island. Planes everywhere. That's what it's all about. Dan Fjord says, I'm working on Murphy's Law that the only thing better than 1 can of Guinness is 2 cans of Guinness. Not to mention, like, McShiggity Pilot will agree on this, Cat Raider is big into his craft beers. There's some serious craft beers in Ireland now, like, some, like, I think there's over 100 microbreweries now in Ireland. Like, it's nuts. No complaints, but it's just crazy. So we're flying directly over Dessel. Screenshot that because that's, well, we all know what that place did. Have you ever tried a pub crawl in Belgium, Murph, says Benny P. Colonel Fork says, hey Murph, can you say hi to my dad Bill? Hello Bill, I hope you are keeping well. Your son has kept me entertained and very much supported over the last number of weeks. He's helped me along in so many ways with the streams. You've got a good guy there. So current airspeed is 120 knots indicated. Currently travelling at 3,000 feet. And our heading looks to be about 184 degrees. We're about 22 minutes away from Amsterdam. 3 cans of Dublin brew and a fine roast after. That's really nice, says Dimas. I approve. Gary Milton says distilleries have taken over from breweries for sure. Yeah, like, and it's great, you know. Like some of the names of the beer over here, it's like, what was the one that I drank there? Black Donkey Brewery. Fantastic. So have I tried a pub crawl in Belgium? No, I haven't. Not yet. Now, I've pub crawled in Holland. Well, in Maastricht. But by definition, a pub crawl, like, it's not really like a pint in each place. I'm more of a, you know, if I find a nice pub, I might have 1 or 2. Or 3. And if we find somewhere else, I might just have the 1. It kind of depends on what the place is like. Keen Leffert says, what about Two-Tone Murphy beer? I tried it once. I tried making my own beer. And, well... I didn't follow... Well, I kind of followed the instructions, but I was too excited to drink it, and I drank it too early. And it wasn't bad, like, it wasn't terrible. And it wasn't too early. Like, I mean, you can drink beer after you make it, like, after a couple of weeks. Like, kind of 4 to 6 weeks, and it's going to be kind of alright. Depending on what you're making. But, yeah. I'd rather drink other people's beer. It tends to be nicer. We had other music earlier on. I might put back on the other music. What do you guys think? Just to kind of keep it all lively and stuff. I think it's this one. Oh yeah, you can feel it. With our group flight on Friday evening, live on YouTube and on Twitch. Derp is here. Many thanks for the raid, my dude. Hello to everyone from Deep Derp's stream. You're all very welcome along tonight. Norval is now following. Many thanks, Norval. Appreciate the follow, my dude. Happy Friday to everyone. I hope you guys all had a nice stream. You join us just north of Holland here in the Netherlands. We've taken off from Texel or Dessel, and we're on our way to Amsterdam. Ecor says Texel, that's the one. Benny P says, if you ever come to Belgium, Murph, try Delirium Cafe in Brussels. A few hundred beers to choose from. Nice. Skiman21632 says, hello at Two-Tone Murphy. Watching your stream from Maryland, USA. The sim is amazing. I'm a radio control pilot, but love watching full-scale planes also. Nice one, dude. Murph, call the runway soon. Let me think. Because all our flights are planned here. Let us see. Does anyone have... That's the wrong question to ask. EHAM. Basically, I want to head for like a southerly runway, if that makes sense. Holy crap, there's so many runways. Okay, we should have tried, we should have researched this. Okay, fear not. No one wants to go on the longest runway. So let's go on the shortest runway, shall we? So we have 180 right. That is what we're going to go for. 180... No, 18 right. 180 right. What a noob. How about 18 right? It's 18 right. See, it just works. Okay, so we're about 18 minutes away from our destination. Keen Lefford is gone, heading away. We will see you on the next stream, my dude. Take it easy, Keen. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a good Saturday. 118 says Phil Breen. Do you remember them two? Ludes Ravans. Well, I have to say, guys, this is some tidy formation flying we got going on here. We got some nice fireflies. Don't forget, guys, we stream every Monday, Wednesday and Friday here on YouTube and on Twitch. Shameless plug. And we also have a Discord up and running. If you guys want to come in to share some of your flight simulator experiences, or pictures or videos, if you guys need any help in the sim. We also have our own resident aircraft painter extraordinaire by the name of Sir Blackie a lot. He's done some amazing custom liveries. Bastian 111 is here. Now there could be an issue, Bastian, because I'm flying with the generic traffic models. I was having some issues with the sim crashing, so I imagine everyone has their landing gear up. It's just the sim is just using kind of generic aircraft. Like if you look closely, like there's PC-12s flying, so it's just using kind of basic aircraft instead of what they're actually flying. Makshigity says, am I on the West server? Yes I am. Dangerous Brian says, Murph, do you have a B&Q in Ireland? Yep, yes we do. Fugros is here. It's we're not using the North Europe server tonight. We've tried the West Europe server just to see if that helps things, and for the moment, it seems to help things. What's your mixture set to, Murph? As close to 60 as I can get. That's okay, Fergus. We still got one landing left to do, my dude. You have plenty of time to take off, fly around, and do a landing. Ed Reed says, I moderate on 7 other channels. Dude. And by far, this is the best. Well, thank you so much, Ed, for your kind words. And welcome all. To all the new people here. Happy Friday or Saturday to you, depending on where you're located. We got ourselves a convoy. Also, guys, I just want to mention a shout out to Simwings. They're doing a stream tomorrow night. Simwings is a great incentive. It's a project basically set up by a couple of cool guys to help out those less fortunate or just usually wouldn't have access to flight simulation at all. So, you know, they're part of the community. They'll take part in some of the streams. They'll be active on forums. But just for whatever reason, it could be their age, it could be their financial status, I suppose, but they just wouldn't be able to get access to a flight simulator. That's where Simwings comes in. These guys help out. So be sure to check out the website. I've just put a link up there in the chat. And be sure to tune in tomorrow night, which is Saturday. We're going to be doing a live stream with them. If you guys want to take part in that group flight, be sure to register over on the Simwing support website. Makshigity Pilot, are you okay? I'm 20 miles north. Bastian 111 wants to join in. Where are you? We're just approaching Amsterdam in Holland. EHAM. The only thing is, if we're using in multiplayer, we need to use only the custom liveries and... sorry, got that totally wrong. Well done, Murphy, you're on fire tonight. Don't use custom scene or custom liveries, and don't use custom aircraft. It breaks my stream. I deserve that song. Dangerous Brain says, Murph, I'll PM you away. I'm planning your kitchen. Cool. Like, I have a kitchen. And it's a functional kitchen. But, yeah. She who must be obeyed would prefer a nicer kitchen. Hey, how's it going? The dang autonomous planes. Actually, it is 15 miles north of Eham. We're about 20 miles out. Samuel Weeks is still here. He says, I'm still here, Murph. I gotta say, guys, some really nice flying. Ecor says, tulip fields. Patrick Cullen says, great stream, Murph. Many thanks, Patrick. Really appreciate it, my dude. This stream is only as good as you guys. Dangerous Brian says, I design kitchens, bedrooms, and bathrooms for a living. Nice one, dude. Do not let Mrs. Two-Tone Murphy know that. Otherwise, you'll be around for dinner. Like tonight. There's something about doing a group flight with a whole lot of people and everyone gets the same level of enjoyment, sharing this wonderful passion we have for aviation. Today is a good day. The flying agents. Abraham Lincoln is here. He says hi. Screenshot time. That is a whole load of planes. And this isn't all of us. This is only one group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I count about 20. $22. I reckon Shipball ATC are losing the will to live. Yes, guys, there's a whole fleet of aircraft coming in. These guys are crazy. Hello, Cessna. Want to beam up, so I couldn't slow down. Although I slowed down a bit, but that's going to upset everybody else. Eek. I created carnage. Samuel says I have the airport in sight. Dangerous Brian said, you just hit that plane. What was you thinking? It's all good, we're still friends. The Enterprise caught him in time. He's trying to put him back in. Miles O'Brien is beaming him in. Okay. Okay, 1-8 right. That's what we're going for. Which is over here somewhere. Basically, it'll be the runway on the very far right, guys. Or if you look down on the map, it'll be on the left. There's center, and there's right. This is a huge airport. So new heading is going to be 210 degrees until we get ourselves somewhat lined up. Current altitude is at 3,000. We're going to descend now to 2,000. Ecor says it's the Flying Dutchman. Gabriel Dillon said, I just flew over someone with one leg hanging out. The horrors of parachuting. Okay guys, so what we do when we approach the airport and when we make our landing, Murph is going to try and get on the ground first, in which then he can record all you guys coming in for the land. Runway in sight. Slow it down here, Murph. Ali Gamer says, you got this. So, if you're kind of ahead of me, by all means, you can do a lap at the airport and then come back in. Just remember your spacing, for there are so many different pilots here tonight. We're going to have our work cut out for us. This be our runway right here, I think. We shall verify that. 18 right, 18 right. Correct and right. That's where we're headed. Gordon is doing a touch and go. Nice one, dude. One notch of flaps coming down. It's a rookie mistake, dude. I hate to see it. Our face cam is on for the dramatic effect. Okay, let's see what sort of madness shall befold us. Murphy, don't touch too many buttons when coming into a land. Because you'll break something, Murphy. That's what's going to happen. Okay, autopilot is off. Mixture is set to rich. Landing lights are on. We have one notch of flaps out. Want to watch our speed here. I was called a noob and then you're not a noob. I love when that happens. So we shall see. We have a steep enough approach. We want to keep our descent above 1,000 feet per minute. Otherwise our ears will be popping. So we're a little bit high, but we're still able to control that. Go with a second notch of flaps here. That's going to help us get our speed right down. Hold our descent here just under 1,000 feet per minute. We want to aim for the center line here. But the pappies are on. We're looking for 2 red and 2 white, or 2 white and 2 red. 70 knots is just nice for this approach. Picking up a little bit of wind, but nothing too bad to write home about. There's planes everywhere. So as soon as I get onto the ground, I'll just exit the runway and we'll turn on our own drone camera and check out some of the landings. We're just above the glide slope, but we'll get online here now shortly. Is the whole server in this group, or are there other multiplayer pilots in ship all expecting this? That's a good question. So if there's anyone in ship all on the East server, or our server, they're going to be like, what's going on? We'll just tell them we're here for political reasons. So many great people flying in, really great to see them, tremendous effort by all, really great. You guys are doing a top-notch job. Okay, so 16 knots. We're in a bit of a float mode. Nice and gentle, does it? Okay, throttle is now back. Hold the nose off, let the speed bleed off. Looking for the stall horn. Touchdown on the back. I can't believe it's not butter. Butter. Stay in the centre line. We're finished with our flaps. We can disappear them. I'm going to immediately exit the runway because I want to set my camera up. And we'll have the local Dutch lads out going, get off the garage. Not a good idea. Okay, and we'll park here facing everyone else. So parking brake comes on. Go ahead and get our landing lights off and everything else off. Avionics. Killer mixture. Battery off. Mags off. That all looks good to me. Our camera system is working. Hold fire now, folks. Don't land just yet. Our speed is on. Need to turn our nameplates on so we know just who it is. We're looking good. There's our nameplates. We can see people's. And the runway is open. As boat tip is down, we'll shoot across here, get an eye for people coming in. Pilot Peely's in the air, we can see him. I said it earlier, it will be nuts. Butter. So let's see what happens. Disappear my face. They're going to be looking at me for. We'll ignore the fact that the weather sock is blowing the wind with the aircraft. Say nothing, it's grand, right? We've got this under control. Speedo is making his entry. About here will do. A little bit of a bounce, but we'll take it, Speedo. Nicely done. McShiggity Pilot and Merlin Fire coming in for a dual landing. Because they can. Oh! That's okay, at least you made it. Jet Tech inbound. Nicely done, dude. Nicely done. Safely on the ground. Colonel Fork is inbound. Craft 2 and 3 is in the house. Good evening to you. Happy Friday, my dude. Here comes the Colonel. It's looking good. Cherub in behind. Nicely done, Colonel Fork. Nicely done, Cherub. Bill Breen. Eagle Eye and War Hamster coming in. Watch the space in there, fellers. And Popo at 6 knots. They're all coming in together. It's crazy. I know. Nicely done, fellas. Formed Meteor is inbound. We can see the Berkel Flyers up there. Congenial T. Sean Lego Man is in the air. Nicely done, dude. Formed Meteor. Oh, there's Butter. There's Kerrygold. The Berko Flyer. Astroman. Astro Bomb inbound. Made it look really easy, as did Jepson. Nicely done, fellas. Papa Joe B. And Black Ice Gabe inbound. Welcome to Amsterdam. Black Ice Gabe. Beautifully done. BG Smalls server is the West or East Europe, and it's Amsterdam Schiphol. EHAM. Here comes Kenny. Treble, Sticky Rice, Stalker P1, and Erlansky. Nicely done, fellas. Chippy Arnold and Herbie Hare. I did okay with my dad watching too, says Colonel Fork. There was margarine all over the place. Owen Risk in the Romulan aircraft under stealth. Nicely done, my dude. Deep Future in the Cessna 172. Nicely done. Belbro inbound, as is Botip and USA Pure 1. Nicely done, fellas. The TBM. We have 10s, 8s, 7s, 8s, 5s. Vintage Cosmos. And Sean Legoman. Nicely done, fella. Very nicely done. Frosty Time says, ordered a honeycomb yolk in early August. It's now delayed indefinitely. Oh, dude. Pilot Peely makes that look very, very easy. Welcome to Amsterdam, my dude. Stalker says, please don't step on the grass, as Spaceman 11 has landed in. We have Geroblast 66 inbound. Here's looking at you, kid. Mr. Flysim 2020. We're getting 10 out of 10. Here's Paddy 140. Nicely done. Merlin Flyer inbound as well. Glum Tapestry 126. If your left leg ain't tapping, there's something wrong with you. Unless, of course, your right leg is tapping. Or maybe both your legs are tapping. Geroblast coming in, fighting the wind as he does it. There's a bounce, a hop, skip, and a jump. Can he recover? He's recovered as Jamfjord makes it in behind. Nicely done, fellas. Welcome to Amsterdam. First landing at 5 frames per second, says Belbro. Suddenly dropped from 62 to 5. That's never good. Here comes Rafe. Wheelbarrow landing in a Cessna, but it's okay. Cessna knew when they were making suspension. They make it forgiving. I'm almost certain we have more to come in. Down the grass, Murphy. Such a big group of flights. Big group of flyers. And the layout looks awesome. Absolute craziness. I think we had something like 36 aircraft. Still hard to believe that this is stock scenery, 100%. A fine bunch tonight, Murph. Pilot Peely says, a good gaff tonight. Great landings, everybody. Well done. Y'all made it look terribly easy. A great bunch of lads. Philly Road says, good night. I'm tired. That's okay, Philly. Many thanks for joining us here this evening. I have to say, amazing. Amazing. It was an amazing flight. My thanks, as always, to all the wonderful people watching here. There's always that guy. My thanks, as always, to everybody watching here on YouTube and on Twitch. We had a great flight tonight, taking off from Maastricht over to Rotterdam, up to Texel, and then back down here to Amsterdam, checking out the Netherlands, or the Nederland. Any of the visual inconsistencies, if I can say that right, it's on my end, don't worry about it. So to all our followers, subscribers, everyone who left a like, everyone who left a comment, and for everyone involved in the chat tonight, thanks a million, guys. And if you were here and lurking in the background, well, thanks for stopping by as well, really appreciate it. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow Simwings are doing a charity stream. Be sure to check out the link coming up on the screen here for Discord and also for the Simwings support project. They're going to be here tomorrow. We will be there, so be sure to join us. So until then, guys, thank you all so very, very much. It was a great night. We've had a great flight. Great bunch of people again to fly with. Look after yourselves. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. And a big shout out to all the mods on the channel. And many thanks to Beta Genzi, who has subscribed. Thank you to Ed, to Dangerous Brian, to Scott Voight, to Dougal McTavish, and to everyone else. Right, now I'm really gone. Go home. I've drinks to drink and, well, beds to sleep. Good luck.